Giddens. We'll get to these starters after this 1st and 10 play. Aquinas in the white with the maroon trim. UPrep in the blue and gold here tonight from the downtown sports complex. It's had a lot of different names over the years. As now the handoff will go inside, and that's a good carry. Gets it out across the 35 and about to the 36-yard line. Our starting lineups again presented by William Attar. Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. And for the Lil Irish tonight, their offensive line going from left to right. Lucas Leone, John Breedy, Gio DeFazio, Drew Eddy, and Aaron McDaniels anchoring the right side. Terrell Richards, Tyler Latone, Amaje Giddens. See a little Nico Young here tonight, too, as Michael White is your quarterback. For UPrep, there are your starters on defense. We'll mention them after this second down play. Terrell Simmons, Isaiah Moonshine are your ends. Devin Farley, Nazir Wynn at the middle of that formation. Rajon Yeomans and Jalen Melton are linebackers, along with Dakari Carter. LaRon Davis, Juelz Russell are your corners. Chris Jean and Quantrell Green are the safeties. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 3, an opportunity for UPrep to get off the field.
Interesting to see C.J. Robinson get the first 2 carries of the game for Aquinas tonight.
And Robinson will be in the backfield here on this 3rd down and 3. He'll get the call again, breaking an arm tackle, and he's going to get it out across the marker, and that's good for our 1st down. That play, our first down by Kangaroo. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, the home of Kangaroo, where we hop to it. Exactly how Aquinas wants to start. You're not used to hearing Aquinas say, you know what, we want to just control the ball and keep UPrep off the field, but I would expect more of the same here. That's John Breedy, number 76, helping to anchor that line as the handoff again between the tackles. And another great run into UPrep territory. And again, that's going to be Robinson once again. And another Kangaroo 1st down, Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, the home of Kangaroo, where we hop to it.
Big stick on that play from Quantrell Green Jr., the 5'7", 155-pound senior playing free safety for the UPrep. UPrep Griffins. As you can see, Robinson with the carry once again, and boom, the big sticks. Slow down, big fella. C.J. Robinson getting the carries early on here for Aquinas over Amaje Giddens.
Terrell Richards is going to be to the near boundary on 1st and 10 at the 45. Richards going into motion. Oh, and there's a busted play as White is trying to make something of it, and he will be deposited immediately. That's Dakari Carter, the leader in that linebacking core, number 9.
Had the chance to talk to Dakari Carter earlier this week. He's really the quarterback of this defense, Gene. He patterns his game after Fred Warner of the San Francisco 49ers. And on the opposite side of the ball, we'll be looking for him as well, playing some tight end.
So, again, that's number 9 for UPrep, being Dakari Carter. 2nd down and 12. White out of the shotgun. He'll have a tight end to the left here. Robinson once again is in the backfield. Play action. White. He's going long. Has a man wide open far side, and it's going to be intercepted. And coming over to make the pick, that's number 15, Quantrell Green. Ball hung up there just enough, and UPrep takes over deep in their own territory.
Well, that's a fear with UPrep, right? A lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball. You see the perfectly executed play action, and the pass just a little bit behind, and enough for Quantrell Green to get up and get it there. High point the ball, 5'7", 155-pound senior for the Griffins, making the big play from the free safety position.
Tyler Latone, the intended receiver, and the ball just underthrown there. So now here's UPrep on offense for the first time tonight. Noah Hill was 12 of 17 for 259 yards through the air in that win over McQuaid. UPrep was down in that game, but then they went on a run, a 28-6 run, as the handoff will go inside. Once again, our starting lineup is presented by William Attar. Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. Noah Hill is the quarterback for this UPrep Griffins team. Stuart Smith, Devin Farley, Dallas Harris, Desmary Favor, and Jameer Dorsey. That's your offensive line. Taking a look at your defense here for Aquinas. Gaetano Oriuso. Tano Oriuso, the freshman linebacker, along with the sophomore linebacker, Lucas Leone. After the gain of 3, it's 2nd down and 7 as Hill out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Plants throws right side, and it's going to be underthrown. Darius Poles, number 4, the intended receiver. Darius Poles, as I say, like, that's a big name here in the Section 5 community, coming family out of Canandaigua.
Yeah, absolutely. Darius Poles, whose uncle happens to be Chicago Bears general manager Ryan Poles.
Darius coming back. He was in California last year, number 4. And who knows? Maybe the Bears could be 2-0 following Sunday night.
Don't tease me.
Second down, make it third down here in 8. Noah Hill out of the shotgun. Long count. And now it's being the ref and the back judge counting it down. Snap. Screen left side. And holding him up just enough there. Trenton Hill, the linebacker, doing a good job when then help was on the way there. As Poles could not get much, and after the interception, UPrep is going to have to punt it away.
And I should correct myself here. Poles, the cousin of Canandaigua grad and current Bears general manager Ryan Poles, as you see the replay here, and almost disastrous with the missed tackle there by Trent Hill, but the rest of the Aquinas defense rushing to the ball to make sure that play was minimal.
Yeah, that's Lucas Leone, the sophomore, flying in there. Got to fly to the ball, as they say. No score here. Clock rolling on here from the downtown sports complex. And everybody going to back away here for Aquinas. So field position game as the Lil Irish will take over in their own territory. No score here in the first.
Take a look at number 9 there, Dakari Carter, as mentioned earlier, the quarterback of this defense for UPrep. Real impressive. Wants to pursue sports management at the next level, Gene. And he's getting some looks from Charleston and Glenville State as well after he graduates this spring.
Couple D2 schools. It's funny, these two schools, I mean, they're both in the Maplewood neighborhood, which is just, it is one of the underrated neighborhoods in the city of Rochester. Just beautiful old homes. Aquinas on Dewey Avenue, UPrep on Lake Avenue. Micah White is going to be back at quarterback, so there isn't a rotation, not just yet anyways. Man going to motion as White will be out of the shotgun. And he'll hand it off. And across the 50 and to the 48 for a gain of 4. Third member of our broadcast team, Kevin Roche. Good evening, Kevin.
Hey, good evening, guys. You know, last November, this UPrep program made history, becoming the first Section 5 charter school to win a Section 5 football championship. Now, that was in Class A. They have moved up to Class AA this year. And head coach Isaiah Young told us earlier this week that a lot of people around Section 5 might be counting them out after that reclassification, maybe calling it a program killer, he mentioned this week. But this team has a chip on its shoulder, as we've seen the first 2 weeks, guys. A win over Victor and a win over 3-time defending AA champion McQuaid. Oh, they've proved they belong so far, guys.
Yeah, C.J. Robinson takes the ball into UPrep territory. Thank you, Kevin, as that was good for another Kangaroo first down. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, home of Kangaroo, where we hop to it.
And Griffin corner, LeBron Davis on the receiving end of a little finishing move there by Robinson. Let's face it, so far in this first quarter, Robinson's been running hard. A little bit of speed to the outside on that last rush. And this is what Aquinas wants. They want the long, sustained drives that keep UPrep's offense on the sideline.
First and 10 at the UPrep 35. Richards goes into motion. The handoff goes to Giddens and Amaje Giddens. And that pile moving ahead for a gain of 8. This seems like a different Aquinas team, but then if we go back to week 1, boy, that was a great start at home against McQuaid, and the double-digit lead got away from them.
Yeah, and as we learned before the week 1 game against McQuaid, Derek Anacino, head coach of Aquinas, told us this team this year is going to go as their offensive line goes. They're going to be looking to get that push with a good-sized offensive line. They spent a lot of time in the weight room here this offseason, and they're bigger this year. They're more physical.
See if AQ goes back to the run here as we're past the midway point. Here in a scoreless first quarter. Handoff again going inside. Another first down as that pile moves down to the 20-yard line. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, the home of Kangaroo. We hop to it, another first down.
And once again, it's C.J. Robinson. Just absolutely, keeping his legs going here with this first down run for Aquinas. Finding the hole, getting gang tackled. And nice little extension there at the end to ensure the first down for Lil Irish.
Well, if the run is working, remember the last pass attempt by White was picked off, and certainly looks like another formation they could run out of once again. 1st and 10 right on the 20-yard line. It'll be a handoff once again. It'll be Robinson, and Robinson getting it down to the 14. And for the first time tonight, we're inside the Ide Family Dealerships red zone.
Boy, this has to be exactly what head coach Derek Anacino is looking for out of his Aquinas offense. And got to say, I'm impressed by C.J. Robinson so far tonight. He's been carrying the ball. The bulk of the carries have gone to Robinson's way. And on that last run specifically, good vision, little jump cut to the left to find the hole and extend forward for a nice gain.
It's a gain of 6 to bring up 2nd down and 4. Beautiful night here in downtown Rochester. And it's really kind of the first night where you're like, ooh, it does feel like football season. 2nd down and 4. It's going to be Robinson with the call again. Robinson spinning inside and gets it down to the 4-yard line. A gain of 10 and another play that goes for a Lakeside Roofing and Contracting first down. The home Kangaroo, where we hop to it.
Well, we had the chance to see Aquinas against McQuaid week 1. And I don't know that we saw C.J. Robinson carrying the rock as much as he's carried it so far in this first quarter. So head coach Derek Anacino had to have seen something out of Robinson's style of play that matches up well against this UPrep defense. He's been carving them up so far on this drive.
It's a 1st and goal to go here. And this has been all on the ground for the Lil Irish on this drive. 9 men packing the box here for UPrep as the handoff going inside. Robinson, he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Aquinas. 4 yards for C.J. Robinson. That's another American Custom Exteriors and Interiors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares.
Well, just mentioned it. Robinson has been the offense for Aquinas so far this first quarter. Bulk of the carries going his way, and only fitting that he's the one that finishes off the drive with the score.
Our extra point attempt here. Dominic Bronco has it blocked. It's blocked, and it's going to be blown dead. So our score 6-0 here in the first quarter. This is William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Billy Whitaker Ford on CW.
Hi, it's Billy from Whitaker Ford. There are some misconceptions about the used car and truck market. I want to talk to you about facts versus fiction. Fiction, buying used vehicles is the same everywhere. Fact, here at Whitaker Ford, we put every vehicle through our rigorous 200-point inspection, and we replace or repair anything that needs it. Check us out at WhitakerFord.com, where we'll make sure you're good to go.
All right, we're back immediately here as 6-0 is our score. Gene Battaglia, Mike Danger, Kevin Roche, your broadcast team, the team leader Steve Sinosol up here in the press box. Windows are open. I think we could use a little triple O here tonight. Get a little heat up here. What do you think? Halftime show will be coming up here in just a little bit.
You know, Derek Anacino has to be a little bit disappointed to see that extra point blocked. He wanted to make that one of the keys going into tonight's game, the kicking game, to make sure that all of those extra points were made tonight. They've had 2 blocks so far, make that 3 now on the season.
This is going to be a kick that will not go out of bounds. And it's going to be Gene coming up with it. Chris Gene, one of their top playmakers in an open field, makes a cut. Gene into Aquinas territory, still on his feet. He'll be brought down from behind all the way to the 30-yard line. Shifting gears in traffic, Christopher Gene.
Boy, some big blocks down the stretch there, too. I want to point out number 11 for UPrep, absolutely unloading on an Aquinas defender to kind of free up Gene for a couple of extra yards there at the end. As you can see, Gene using his speed to the outside. And it's Jazier Vega absolutely taking care of business and planting an Aquinas defender to grant Gene a couple of extra yards there on the big kick return.
Ben Kingsley, number 47, with the touchdown saving tackle. So for the Griffs, they go back to work here. Short field to work with. It's going to be Gene getting the call. Chris Gene bouncing off a tackler, and he'll have it just outside the 20-yard line for about a gain of 8 or 9 on the play. It's a UPrep team that fell behind last week to McQuaid, and for, I don't want to say a young team, because certainly there's talent returning, but for a team that hasn't played at this level, they weren't about ready to pack it in and say, well, I guess they're the champs. No, they came back and went on a 28-6 run and took over that game against the 3-time champs.
Which I think just shows how explosive they can be. So many dynamic playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. And don't underestimate that chip that they play with, that chip that's on their shoulder, that fuel to their fire.
Noah Hill looking back at the sideline. Nazir Wynn is in the backfield, and with the confusion there, all right, UPrep is going to say, let's talk this over coming up with a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and you saw Chris Gene come off to the sideline to get a little bit of a spell, maybe get a water, maybe give him a chance here to catch his breath after that long kick return to get back in the game.
With that timeout, we'll step aside as well. It's William Attar's Friday Night Rivals presented by Billy Whitaker Ford here on CW Rochester.
Own a hybrid or battery charged vehicle, the Gateway electric vehicle charging system is your path to the easiest, most affordable way to travel. It's easy to install in your own garage, good for the environment, and the Gateway app provides you with all the information to get you safely to your destination. Just plug, charge, and you're on your way. Gateway works on all electric cars and trucks, and the Level 2 charger provides superior mileage on every charge. You won't want to use anything else.
So, our scoring summit tonight presented by Illuminating Expressions. Illuminating Expressions, where light comes to life. There's a ground and pound drive there for the Lil Irish, capped off by the Robinson 4-yard carry.
Look at that lovely sunset we have there behind the Illuminating Expressions logo. No harvest moon in our sight tonight, Gino. Mostly cloudy sky tonight here above the field. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some. It's pretty dark. I don't know. I'd be surprised if we don't see some rain showers.
I'm hoping not. Certainly the forecast Monday looks like we'll be calling for rain, but let's hope it holds off here tonight. Nazir Wynn is in the backfield coming out of this, and he's one of the leaders on this defensive line, but he's coming in here almost like the thunder and lightning here. Here comes the thunder part for the Griffs. He's the backfield, number 34, on the 2nd down and short. Noah Hill, the quarterback. And looping around into motion, and it will be Wynn getting the call. And he will get it ahead. Still on his feet, pinballing around. He just would not go down. And that's another 1st down. Presented by Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, the home of Kangaroo, where we hop to it. We're also back inside the Ide family of dealerships red zone. First time tonight, the Griffs inside the red zone. First and goal now from the 9.
Boy, that Nazir Wynn is a load, isn't he? That's a big boy running the ball for UPrep. 5'9", 267.
Will Wynn get the call here again? No, it's a pass attempt. Hill going corner in the end zone, going up high. Touchdown! Touchdown, UPrep! Wow, what a catch.
Tyrell Simmons. He just went Randy Moss. Big play.
Tyrell Simmons, who had 5 catches for 82 yards in the win over the Irish, rather McQuaid last week, and that time he goes over the top of Amaje Giddens. Giddens had great coverage on that, but Simmons wanted it more.
And a good matchup on the outside there. Giddens 6'2", 190, and Simmons 6'3", 197. That extra inch was the difference.
Now in a 6-6 game, UPrep is going to go for 2. The handoff inside, and the defensive line holds. Rodney Toll, number 51, helping out there as our game is tied 6-6. 9-yard touchdown reception by Terrell Simmons. And by the way, that was another American Custom Exteriors and Interiors touchdown. American Custom Exteriors and Interiors, the home improvement company that cares. Rodney Tull keeping this a tie game, number 51.
Big play by the junior there. Looked to be a force this year and next year for the Lil Irish. Defense and special teams. Big play there to prevent the 2-point conversion.
So for the kickoff, so this just kind of tells you that maybe UPrep will go for 2 here, because you certainly don't want to be chasing points, not at this point of the game, but that's your best option. I certainly understand, as it'll be Nazir Wynn to kick this away for UPrep.
Could do it all. Could kick the ball. Big load running up the middle, up the gut.
Wynn with an end-over-end kick. And that'll be Richards to the far side. Terrell Richards getting it close to the 30-yard line. We go downstairs to Kevin Roche.
All right, thanks, guys. Here with 2016 Aquinas grad and former quarterback Jake Zembeck, one of the most decorated players ever to play in Section 5. First off, how much do you miss this atmosphere and playing on a Friday night?
Yeah, it feels great to be back on a high school football field. A lot of great memories on this field especially, and a lot of wins that we had back when I played.
Yeah, you had a few, right? 3,000 yards, over 3,000 yards your senior year, 37 touchdowns, a state championship, highly recruited, ended up at Penn State, but unfortunately a shoulder injury kind of sidelined you. You never really got things going in Happy Valley. How disappointing is that for you, and do you ever think what might have been?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, it was a little bit of a disappointment for me. I had high hopes for myself. I know people at Rochester had high hopes for me. But ultimately, being at Penn State, I was able to kind of get my life on track, develop a new career plan, physical therapy, which I'm pursuing right now. So even though it didn't turn out exactly how planned, everything's going smooth at this point.
You're trying to stay involved in football the best you can, and I know you're giving back to your community right here in Rochester with a football quarterback camp that you held over the summer. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that started during quarantine. Like everyone, I was kind of bored, so I wanted to do something to help out, stay involved with football. Athletics in general is a tough thing to just walk away from one day. So for me, getting to live through a lot of these guys and help coach them, Noah Hill, the quarterback out here for UPrep, he's a guy that I work with. For me, it's just really cool to give back. I didn't really have the ability physically anymore to play at the college level, but mentally I felt like I was still as sharp, and I want to be able to instill that in these guys all around Rochester and help them succeed.
In your final year of grad school up at UB, going to be a physical therapist, ever thought about coaching?
Right now, I think I'm going to stick to the quarterback training specifically. I'm really loving that. I've got about 60 to 70 kids in Rochester that I work with from ages 9 up till 24, 25. We'll see if that evolves into more of a serious coaching role as I get further into my physical therapy career. But right now, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door in the coaching world and leave all those doors open for when I do settle down a little bit.
Hey, best of luck to you. And hey, a big one for Penn State tomorrow at Auburn.
Yeah, they got to beat them last year. I was at that game, so we got to go 2-0 against them.
All right, best of luck to you. We appreciate your time. Jake Zembeck, former AQ quarterback, here on Friday Night Rivals. Guys?
Yeah, that was a fun Aquinas team. Jake, thanks for coming back tonight. And Jake Zembeck, certainly it's great that he came back to our community and helping this next generation of quarterbacks.
Yeah, he mentioned that he did some work with Noah Hill, UPrep quarterback. I also know that he spent some time this summer. I had the chance to talk to Jake this summer, the Ben Newman, who we might be seeing later on tonight at some point from the Lil Irish, number 10, the sophomore quarterback. Spent some time with Jake this offseason as well.
So while Kevin was talking, a fortunate bounce for Aquinas. That ball was out. They ruled it, and it was Robinson who recovered that fumble. Is White now checking down, finds a man in a crossing pattern. However, the flag comes down. And I'm just wondering if this is going to come back here as the reception went to Richards, but hold everything. Our officials tonight.
What do you got?
Offensive.
Our referee tonight, Ray Richardson, will have the call.
Not that right. Pass interference on the offense. Take them back. Replay the down. Yes.
Okay, so Ray Richardson, you heard it there, offensive PI. Our part tonight, Jeff Phillips, McTominay, linesman.
On the offense, 15 yards, replay, second down.
Scott Englerth is your lines judge, and your back judge tonight, Dylan Hill.
Yeah, they threw that flag in the corner in the direction of number 24 there, Trey Walker, the junior for Aquinas.
Second down and long, and, well, that is going to, they started the clock back up. Yeah, and I think that's actually kind of a mistake there. Well, they'll just say it's the end of the quarter. Okay, so we go to the second, and both teams getting on the board here as we are through one quarter of play. 6-6 our score. It's William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Billy Whitaker Ford here on CW Rochester.
The Burger 500. The world's greatest cheeseburger is off like a shot. He's stupendous. He's amazing. He's simply the world's greatest cheeseburger. It's the final lap. Nothing can stop him now. Oh no, Crazy Burger's blocking the lane. Holy cow. Bill Gray's really has the world's greatest cheeseburger.
Dear Mirror, how do I see myself? I see power. I see a tech-savvy ride. I see generous cargo. And I see value that rides strong. Let's go. Highlander.
Get 2.49% APR financing for a full 48 months on the fuel-efficient Highlander with seating for up to 8. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is Quickfill Country. A land of majestic landscapes, natural wonders, and pristine waterways. All waiting to be explored. And with the Quickfill mobile app, adventure is right at your fingertips. Download the free mobile app and start fueling your discovery. Click the compass to find local points of interest and the best route to get you there. Your next journey is less than a tank of gas away. Quickfill, fueling discovery.
Welcome to Independence. You know, people here, they're all running from something.
Is something rattling you?
My husband was killed.
Who killed him?
The new sheriff. You asked me if I was staying here for revenge. Maybe it's justice.
Walker Independence. New series premieres Thursday, October 6th, only on the CW.
Closed captioning for tonight's game brought to you by the wonderful group at Four Winds Chimney, built to stand the test of time. As we begin the second quarter, Gene Battaglia, Mike Danger, Kevin Roche, and I smelled a tailgate here at the downtown stadium, too. Good to have some folks out here tonight, having a little fun prior to tonight's game. Second and long here after the penalty, and certainly that's the type of penalty that can be a drive killer. Let's see how Aquinas has responded. If you're just tuning in, pretty much it's been the ground game for Aquinas here tonight. Robinson with the 4-yard touchdown, but then coming the other direction, Terrell Simmons after a short field, a great return by Chris Jean on the ensuing kickoff. And 6-6 is our scores. Both teams missed their PAT. Second and long as Michael White throws, man wide open, and into UPrep territory goes Tyler Latone. So Latone, targeted earlier tonight, that's going to be short of the first down, but it brings up third and manageable.
Nice timing and chemistry on that between Michael White and Latone, the 6'3", 175-pound senior. Right on the money. And also on the spot there for UPrep, number 5, Juelz Russell. Limiting the gain.
And Aquinas here will sub in a few players. 13, Jake Smith coming out onto the field. Trey Walker, number 24, will also come out on this third down play. Third down and 6. Ball just into UPrep territory. Richards will be to the far boundary. Latone to the near side. C.J. Robinson again in as your running back on third down. White takes the snap. White under pressure, sets up the screen. What a call as Robinson will get the first down and more. Aquinas beats the blitz. That's good enough for a Tracy Dorr Company first down. Get a Tracy Dorr. You get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
Great execution by the Little Irish here and a great play call on third down. And Robinson has just been a powerhouse for the Aquinas offense so far tonight. As you can see, White baiting everybody into the screen, and a great block here. As you can see, number 4, Terrell Richards, freeing up Robinson for a few extra yards there after the catch.
Quantrell Green with the tackle, lowering his shoulder once again for the Griffs. Minute gone by here in quarter number 2, and the Little Irish are on the move.
See Robinson doing what he's doing tonight as a sophomore. A reason to feel optimistic about the future for Aquinas.
And he'll get the call again. Finds the hole, but then quickly, that's Nazir Wynn. He's throwing him right down. Not quite like Derwin James on Thursday Night Football, but Wynn showing that physical play.
I'd like to ask the team captains when we have the chance to talk to them during the week who the toughest guy on the team is, the guy that would come out from a cage match unscathed. And for UPrep, it was unanimous. That young man, Nazir Wynn, the toughest guy on the team, is voted on by his captains. You can see right there, no match. Stay down. You're a sophomore, and that guy has just too much strength, too much size, and too much toughness.
That looked like that was going to go for big yardage. Instead, Wynn came over and put an end to that. So call it a gain of a half yard to bring up second down. Richards to the near boundary. Here's the snap looking that way. Richards the intended target, and it goes off of his hands. Sliding attempt there to bring up third and long.
You need that pass a little bit higher from Michael White, but a great attempt on the ball by Richards, and it's a shame that hit the turf because that would have been a big play for Aquinas here now facing third and long.
4-down territory, you would figure here. Jazir Vega will check in, number 11 for the Griffs. Good crowd here tonight from both schools. Third down and 9. The 6-6 game. White steps, throws, has a man in motion toward the end zone. No call yet. Down just outside the goal line. Crossing pattern beats the blitz. And we're inside the Ide family of dealerships red zone. Once again, it's a first and goal to go for the Little Irish.
Mentioned it earlier, the timing and the chemistry between Michael White and Tyler Latone. A big connection here to put the Little Irish in the red zone. And good strength by Latone to not lose the ball there as they were going for the strip there at the end of the play.
Just outside the goal line here. I believe it's at the 1, as Latone will stay out there. Do they go back to Robinson? They do, and Robinson gets stood up. Woo-hoo.
After he gets in the end zone.
That touchdown. So Green's hit a little bit too late, but Aquinas retakes the lead here on that hard run by C.J. Robinson. Good for another American Custom Exteriors and Interiors touchdown, the home improvement company that cares.
And you see Chris Jean there doubled over after the touchdown as well. Hope he's all right. Big hitting this game so far by Quantrell Green Jr., the 5'7", 155-pound senior. And unfortunately, that big hit came after Robinson had already crossed the goal line.
Dominic Bronco had his last PAT blocked. Here's the snap is down, and this one is up, and that goes right through the scissors lift. And our score 13-6 as we have Aquinas retaking the lead. And again, it's been a connection tonight. Tyler Latone, nice play on that crossing pattern to set up that goal-to-go situation.
Yeah, a couple of big plays in the passing game from White to Latone that set up these touchdowns that we've seen tonight by C.J. Robinson, who's been a force running the ball for the Little Irish. And if you're head coach Derek Anacino, I mean, this has kind of gone almost exactly the way you would want it to go. Longer drives, sustaining drives, keeping UPrep's offense off the field. I mean, you had a turnover early in the game, a short field with the long kick return here earlier in this half. But overall, with the exception of maybe the missed extra point, I think things are probably going to plan here for Aquinas in terms of their game plan of keeping UPrep minimized in their offense.
Yeah, we've got the Storm Basement Waterproofing Dry Basement Living halftime report coming up. We'll have this week's Triple O Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Plumbing Scholar Athletes. Service so good, you're going to find a reason to call. We'll also showcase our participating school administrators, first half highlights, and more. Brought to you by Storm Basement Waterproofing. So Gene had the big return last time. They're not going to go anywhere near him. In fact, that was the instruction. You know you have a good return team, I think, when the instruction is just, you know what, just kick it out of bounds.
If you're wondering what to get Chris Gene for Christmas this year, don't bother giving him a present because he'll just return it, Gene.
Terrible. 1st and 10. My apologies to the Gene family for that joke. That was Mike Danger with that.
Danger with a D.
Dead ball. Kick out of bounds. First down.
Well, with the penalty, though, that's much better for Aquinas as the result last time went all the way deep into AQ territory. Noah Hill has been good with the football. 259 yards last week, and here he is leading this offense, going back to work. As he'll hand off Gene, trying to get around that corner, gets into Aquinas territory, tiptoeing along the sideline. Good enough for a Tracy Door Company first down. Get a Tracy Door, get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
Well, Gene seems to be okay after he was doubled over a little bit after that Aquinas touchdown. You see that speed around the outside. That's exactly what they were trying to avoid. Getting the ball in his hands, you never know when he could break one. He's just so fast, so dynamic around that edge. Big play for UPrep here to start this drive.
Now, the disclaimer here, we haven't seen everyone in Section 5 yet, but hard to imagine. You know, if you're coming up with a list of fastest players in Section 5, the conversation has to start here with Chris Gene from what we've seen so far. He has burners. As Gene now will loop around here, and on that read option, gets it right. Yeah, what a beautiful pass is Gene. Gene's still on his feet, and he's going to get it inside the 10. We're back inside the Ide family at Dealerships Red Zone. Another Tracy Door Company first down. Get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
Unbelievable skill by Gene on this play. I mean, first of all, you have the sidearm throw from Noah Hill, and Gene snagging it. It looked like he snagged that one with one arm, with one hand, too, Gene, as you see the replay here. You knew it was going to be Gene all along, just snagged it out of the air with one hand, brought it into his body, and then used the burners to get down the sideline for another big UPrep gain.
I like Terrell Simmons, though, like when the play's coming there, and is like, nope, I'm not holding. My hands are up in the air here. 1st and goal from the 7. UPrep down by 7. Hill handing it off and going back to Wynn. Nazir Wynn plowing his way, and he's in. Touchdown. Touchdown, UPrep. That's another American Custom Exteriors and Interiors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares. The big man, Nazir Wynn, and now UPrep a PAT away from tying this up. Although it looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
Good luck tackling him.
Yeah.
Really, wish you best of luck in trying to tackle that big guy.
Everybody looking at their wristband. Head coach Isaiah Young calling out the play as now it's going to be a roll to the right. The throw in, that's going to be knocked down. Lucas Leone, number 55, coming up big. And again, that's been sort of the difference here tonight. Aquinas getting 1 PAT and UPrep 2 touchdowns, but no PATs to show for it. Lucas Leone, the sophomore, keeping Aquinas in front here by 1.
Yeah, we've had the chance to call a few Aquinas games here over the course of the last couple of seasons. Leone getting the starts last year as a freshman and making a big play there, breaking up the 2-point conversion.
It's William Attar's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Billy Whitaker Ford here on CW Rochester.
Iron Cairo, helping you perform at the highest level. Teens are in the most physically demanding time of their life. From oversized backpacks to competitive sports, there is a lot of wear on their bodies and little to no solutions available. At Iron Cairo, we work daily with countless families to solve these obstacles that take away from performance in school, sports, and overall quality of life. Iron Cairo is centered around evidence-based treatment that is personalized and proven to increase performance and expedite the healing process. Upgrade your performance and move in the right direction with Iron Cairo today.
Here's the illuminating expression scoring summary for the first half. Illuminating expressions where light comes to life, and this is what you want. Players making plays here tonight from both sides.
Yeah, and the difference of the scores so far tonight, one extra point. UPrep opting to go for two with both of their touchdown scores. Aquinas missing their first point after attempt and hitting on their second touchdown for that 1 point lead here in the second quarter.
Robinson with runs from 4 yards and 1 yard. And for UPrep, it's Simmons with the 7-yard reception. That tied it at 6. And then Wynn just moments ago plowing his way. I don't know. Who's tougher to tackle? Is it Chris Jean with that speed? Or I don't think I want to get in front of number 34.
No, I want no part of what 34 is offering there. 5'9", 267. Carrying the rock. That's a task for any defender that wants to try and take him down one-on-one.
Terrell Richards and C.J. Robinson are deep back here for the Lil Irish. And so it'll be Wynn to boot this one away. Robinson trying to find a pathway, and he'll get across the 30 and up to about the 33-yard line. Still a lot of time left here in the second quarter. And for Aquinas, their offense has had success here so far. So hard to kind of question what they've been doing here so far. Last two drives very successful, resulting in touchdowns.
Yeah, using the run to set up the pass. We've seen a lot of C.J. Robinson, but a good connection happening here tonight between Michael White and Tyler Latone.
Right in front of all the UPrep fans here on this side of the field. Trey Walker will be in the slot to the right here on this 1st and 10 play at their own 33. Teno Ariuso going into motion. Instead, the handoff goes inside, and there's Wynn putting right down onto the turf. C.J. Robinson, another tackle by Nazir Wynn.
Well, you can see Wynn's toughness on this play. It's not like the Aquinas offensive line is small. And we talk about how big Wynn is and how much of a load he is when he's carrying the ball on the offensive side. He's been making some big plays defensively as well, getting a lot of penetration over this vaunted Lil Irish offensive line.
2nd down and 10. Tyler Latone will be the receiver to the top of your screen on the far side. We'll go 3 wide here. White will keep it himself, setting up that screen, and that was sniffed out that time. Beautiful read there by the UPrep defense. As getting that play, coming up with it, number 3, Rajon Umis. Umis there, the linebacker on the outside, reading that perfectly.
Yeah, and you know, even if Robinson secures that ball, you're getting a minimal gain there because of the pursuit there by UPrep, and that's what they wanted to do. And we mentioned it earlier that they want to get more than one man to the ball, and they're going to be looking to create some takeaways here as well to see if they can get that offense back, of that explosive offense back on the field.
A big 3rd and 10 play for both teams here. As White in the pocket, only 3 are coming, but he's flushed out. White throwing, it's going to be caught, and it's going to be good enough for the 1st down. Wow, that's Michael White finding Terrell Richards for a gain of 12. That is a Tracy Dorr Company 1st down. Get a Tracy Dorr, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
Great job by White here, getting out of the pocket, creating some space with his feet, and finding his guy Richards. Good leading of the, look, if you throw that behind him, that could be a pick going the other way. And you had good coverage there as well by LaRon Davis. So overall, just a good play there by White, connecting with Richards.
First and 10 for the Little Irish. Ball still in their own territory, and they go back to Robinson, and that pile along the left side will move just a little bit. Lucas Leone, the left tackle, John Breedy, left guard for the Little Irish, as the ball at their own 49-yard line. Call that a gain of 5. And again, for the Little Irish, that is the key this week. Can they just keep the playmakers from UPrep off of the field?
Increase their chances when they have these longer, more sustained drives. And they were able to do it earlier with the run game. Let's see if they continue here with Robinson getting the bulk of the carries.
Tyler Latone is in the slot to the left, man going into motion. The handoff goes back to Robinson. He breaks an arm tackle, gets the first down, stiff arms a man, C.J. Robinson. Another nice run, another Tracy Door Company first down. Get a Tracy Door, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy Company.
Knowing that this is going to be a street fight between these two teams, that they're going to be battling and it's going to be physical. Robinson getting a lot of carries early today, which is a little surprising when you consider he's a sophomore. And you've got Amaje Giddens, who also makes a lot of plays for this Aquinas offense, who I think has one carry up to this point, Gino. So maybe we'll see more Giddens here, and we see a little bit more of a split as this game wears on. But they've certainly had their success running the football here against this UPrep defense.
Devin Farley checking in on the defensive line for UPrep, number 64, first and 10 at the 35 as the handoff going once again, and a big hole. And a flag coming down right at the end of it. And for the Little Irish, that was Trent Hill going for that one, but it's gonna be coming back here. So Hill will come off, and Robinson got his little bit of a breather.
We have holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the flag, still first down.
See if we can pick this up.
We had the Aquinas McQuaid game week 1, and this was what was crucial about the penalties, you know, and when you see those holds and you know, any momentum that you get stalled, you hate to see it, but it feels like it's almost a symptom of Aquinas that from time to time these self-imposed mistakes hurt them over the course of a game.
Nearing the midway point here of quarter number 2 as the Little Irish will break the huddle. So they'll get the down over, but instead now it's first and 20. Richards to the near side. Handoff going to Robinson once again, and Robinson breaks one tackle, but UPrep flying to that football. There are 5 men around C.J. Robinson after the short game.
Yeah, and you know, who's there at the end of it all to try and rip that ball out? It's the guy we've been calling all night, number 34 there, Nazir Wynn. Getting in there as the last guy looking to rip that ball free from Robinson and try to create a little takeaway for UPrep.
Dakari Carter, number 9, force in the middle there at the middle linebacker position. We'll call this second down and 16. Caleb Wilson will be the tight end to the right of this formation, number 84. White looking left. White under pressure. White taking off, and he's just going to scoot out of bounds. And all things considered, that's not the worst decision in the world, as with the pressure there was number 8, Terrell Simmons.
Smart by Michael White to not unload that. Good coverage downfield by the UPrep secondary.
Give him 2 on that scramble.
Protecting the football. Already has 1 interception on the night. Did not want to create a second turnover for the Little Irish.
Yeah, stay tuned for our Storm Basement Waterproofing Dry Basement Living halftime report. That'll include our O heating, cooling, and electrical and plumbing scholar athletes. Service so good, you'll find a reason to call. Storm Basement Waterproofing, our Dry Basement Living halftime report coming up. White going from long and a miscommunication. Well, something happened there as number 13, Jake Smith, broke off his route, and this will bring up 4th down. And Derek Anacino is not going to take any chances. He wants to play the field position game, sending out his punting unit. White also serving as the punter.
I know how important the field position battle is to Coach Anacino. And given what we saw from UPrep's offense, the longer drive by UPrep's offense with their last scoring drive, let's see how far back they can pin them here in their own zone.
Chris Jean not going to be able to do much here. He calls for the fair catch, and he's going to let it bounce. And does it go into the end zone? Yep. So the attempt here, it'll result in a touchback with 4:44 remaining before halftime.
I don't know that that was a touchback. I think that might have actually been downed right there near the goal line.
Okay, we'll figure it out when we come back here on Friday Night Rivals. William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Billy Whitaker Ford on CW Rochester.
Call 000.
Triple O. Service so good, you'll find a reason to call us. Have Triple O install a Mitsubishi ductless unit with 0% financing and thousands in rebates. Trusted in New York as a clean heat contractor. Triple O, your one stop for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. Visit TripleOtoday.com.
During the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the William Mattar Player of the Game. And that, a lot of choices here. Couldn't even begin to speculate, but we'll have that. Hey, there's number 10, and we thought we might see a little bit of Ben Newman, but the way the Aquinas offense has moved here tonight, it might not just be the right time to get Ben Newman a series or two in.
Right. Michael White with one interception earlier on a ball that was just slightly underthrown, but he certainly has a chemistry working tonight and some good timing with Tyler Latone, who's had a couple of big receptions for Aquinas. And let's face it, I mean, White hasn't had to do a lot with his arm. It's been mostly Robinson in the run game that's kept UPrep's offense off the field.
So, my apologies, it was not a touchback. Indeed, it's going to be the whole length of the field. So great down of the ball by the Aquinas special teams unit. 1st and 10 from their own 1. As Noah Hill out of the shotgun. Aquinas, they're creeping up. That's Lucas Leone kind of cheating up there a little bit. Kingsley's out there as well. And the handoff going far side. Positive yardage. That's going to be good enough for a Tracy Door Company first down. The Tracy Door Company, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
You need some breathing room. Hand the ball off to Chris Jean, who's been doing this all game long. On the outside, he's a hard guy to bring down, and he's a hard guy to catch. A lot of speed, a lot of power out of the 5'10", 180-pound senior for the Griffins.
Juelz Russell will check in at wide receiver here on 1st and 10 at their own 13. So the 12-yard run on 1st and 10 from their own 1. As Chris Jean in his offensive line getting that done. Here's Jean making a cut, and this time Aquinas getting more than one man to the ball. Lucas Leone, number 55, was in there to begin the tackle. And then eventually that was number 51, Rodney Tull, helping out to finish it off.
And give it up to the UPrep offensive line here as well. They've been creating some nice holes for Jean to run through this evening with Favor and Dorsey on the right side. Harris up the middle at center. And Farley and Smith on the left side of the line for the Griffins.
Jean comes off of the field on this play as it'll be Nazir Wynn back in at running back as the clock rolling on here. UPrep down by 1 here in the second quarter. On the 2nd down and 6. 3 wide receivers with Wynn as your single setback. And the end around is going to go to Juelz Russell. And gets it out of bounds. They're going to mark it past the marker. So a first down. Great play call there for Juelz Russell. And it's another Tracy Door Company first down. You get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
So much speed on this Griffins offense, isn't it? I mean, you try to slow down Chris Jean, and then you got Juelz Russell going to the outside. Just a hard guy to keep up with.
This has the potential to be a signature drive for UPrep. They started at their own 1. Clock continued to roll on, and UPrep could double dip here, so to speak. Remember, they won the coin toss, and they'll be getting the ball to begin the second half. And we get 2 men in the motion at once, or was there a timeout?
Flag on the field. Looks like we have illegal motion here by UPrep.
We have a dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards, first down.
Tough in week 3 at that point.
Well, I mentioned penalties are killer for Aquinas when they're on offense, and it's been that way, for the 2 games that we've seen from them so far this year. You certainly don't want to see that out of UPrep as well.
Quante Gillians is the defensive lineman to the near side, standing up on the play. He's going to come up the field. Instead, it goes inside. And it gets back the penalty yardage and just a little bit more to bring up 2nd down and 8. We have a downed Aquinas player on the far side.
Yeah, you hate to see this. It's number 55, Lucas Leone. One of their big playmakers on both sides of the ball. The 5'10", 210-pound sophomore for the Little Irish, rolling around in pain.
His dad, Chuck, went to Rondecoit, and just a good family, the Leone family, and I hope everything is okay here.
See head coach Derek Anticino standing over him. Started last year at middle linebacker for this Aquinas defense as a freshman.
Was a captain as a freshman.
Okay, correct.
I remember he came on our Zoom call, and it's like, wait a second, you're only a freshman. And you're like, yeah, so.
Good news, he's up, he's shaking it out.
We want to thank all of our sponsors tonight, including Homewood Suites, the indoor pool, fitness center, meeting rooms, everything you need here. Highland Drive, right outside of Rochester and Henrietta. 2nd down and 7. Long count. Russell going into motion, and the pitch is going to go to Jean. Chris Jean trying to get around the corner, and that's just great defense there. Number 24, Trey Walker, just maintaining his 111, so to speak.
Quante Gillians as well, doing a great job on the outside there, shedding a blocker to get in on that tackle and forcing Jean out of bounds here. They bring up a 3rd and short.
So Jean will come off the field, and they're going to go to their power runner. Number 34, Nazir Wynn.
Lucas Leone back in the game for Aquinas as well.
Great sign there. 3rd and 1. Can Aquinas get off the field as Wynn gets it? Wynn is going to be brought down. Big play by Trent Hill. Trent Hill. Great individual effort, number 2.
I stand corrected. I didn't think that there was a single player on this field that could bring down Nazir Wynn one-on-one. And that is exactly what you need if you're Aquinas. Trent Hill with the big play from the linebacker position, penetrating and bringing down the big man in the backfield for a huge loss, setting up a 4th down. And it looks like UPrep will be lining up for the punt.
Yep, so Isaiah Young is not going to roll the dice here. We get whistles, and we have a timeout call by Aquinas. So they had a few to use here, and for AQ here, and they have a field goal kicker. Still plenty of time, 2:04 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We take another look at the stop. This really, we had the interception earlier by UPrep, but this might be our defensive player of the game considering the circumstances.
Yeah, and Hill, using every inch of the jersey, pulling him down, doing whatever he can to bring the big man down to the backfield. But you can see the emotion there, the power and the speed getting through that line and making the big play in the backfield for Aquinas.
That's why you do all your lifting in June, July, August, year-round, just to make one play like that and help your team win a game. So the punt coming up, and for Aquinas, again, they're not going to have the ball to begin the 3rd quarter, but if they can get some points here, they're going to have to feel pretty good about themselves heading into the half.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, does anything change if you're Derek Anticino? Continue to ground and pound?
No.
I mean, you've been able to move the ball effectively. You use the run game perfectly to set up the pass game when you've needed to. And with 2:04 left in the half, I think you want to milk as much of that as you can going into halftime, knowing that UPrep gets the ball to start the 2nd half.
This will be Walker deep back here for the Little Irish. And again, UPrep not really with a kicker, but that'll work for now as it's going to take a UPrep roll. As Walker is going to have to play away from that all the way down to the 21-yard line. So flips the field position, 1:52 remaining. And does Derek Iannacino get a little aggressive here or just kind of stick with the Robinson show? C.J. Robinson with 2 touchdowns so far tonight for Little Irish. And the difference right now is 1 PAT that was made. 13-12 is their score.
Seeing Trey Walker check into the huddle as well. The junior.
Yeah. Tyler Latone will be the receiver to the far side on this 1st and 10 at their own 21. Handoff going. It'll be Robinson. Flag coming down normally from the area of holding. Yep. Right away the call. And this kind of changes everything here. If you're UPrep, you might be wanting to think about using your timeouts here.
Mentioned it earlier, Gene. These holding penalties are a killer, and this Aquinas team will go as the offensive line goes. They can't keep.
On the offense, that penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Interesting.
All right, so rather than knock them back 10 yards and keep it at 1st and 20, they go 2nd and 10.
Richards to the far side. Latone to the near side for the Little Irish. Giddens was out there for a carry earlier, but we haven't seen much of Amaje here tonight. It's going to be Robinson and trying to get some room between the tackles. Still on his feet, but he's going to be stood up. Dakari Carter, the middle linebacker, leading the charge after only a gain of 2. And a timeout called by UPrep. So that'll bring up 3rd down, and for the Griffs, they're thinking get the ball back and then try to get to their home run hitters here late in the 2nd quarter.
Boy, how impressive was Isaiah Young when we had the chance to talk to him earlier this week. UPrep's head coach here, who started as the team's offensive coordinator back in 2019. He was forthright with us and mentioned, this program, after winning the A1 Section 5 title last year and getting moved up to A2, a lot of people thinking that was going to be a program killer, knows that this team is playing. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder, Gene. And they've looked impressive. They've looked impressive the first 2 weeks of the season.
As they should. Everybody in Class AA, when you talk about, hey, it's Aquinas and McQuaid, I'm sure Pittsford would say something. I'm sure RH would say something. And I'm sure these young men at UPrep are like, okay, you know what? We'll see how this kind of goes on the field for us, too.
Been a fun season so far through 2.5 weeks. Plenty of action here in Section 5. And really, it's up for debate as to who the class of Monroe County is right now. I mean, we had the chance to see Pittsford last week. They looked impressive in a win at Penfield. McQuaid, even though they lost to UPrep last week, very impressive week 1, come from behind fashion against this Aquinas team. And if Aquinas happens to win tonight, I think that'll perk up the ears of a lot of people paying attention to Section 5 football.
Robinson in the backfield on this 3rd down and 8. Does Aquinas go to the air to try to pick this up? They've had success through the air here tonight, particularly Latone, number 8. He's in this formation to the near side. Richards going into motion. And it'll be a design keeper where White has nowhere to go. Dakari Carter sniffing that one out, number 9, with the tackle. Also in on the tackle was Jazier Vega, number 11, and UPrep will call the quick timeout. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, Dakari Carter, very impressive at the middle linebacker position there, and Aaron McDaniels on the right side at right tackle for Aquinas, just not able to hold his block long enough to spring White around the outside of the offensive line.
It's 4th down as Leone will be the snapper here, and are the instructions don't kick at the Chris Jean? Just kick it out of bounds. I'm being serious. Like, it might be your best course of action here if you're Aquinas. Just angle it to the sideline. for this UPrep team. 13 Wham had this story earlier. They needed some helmets, kind of like supply chains, everything, and it was actually the U of R, same colors. They were able to help out with some helmets that they didn't need. Football community very tight. It's 4th down, and here's White to punt this away. Chris Jean is at midfield. It's a bad snap. White is going to get it away and does what he can. This is going to be great field position. That went out before the 40, and now the official, where will he spot it? Wow. Well, White did what he could with the defender right in his face after that bad snap. A short field with 1:12 remaining before the half. UPrep getting the ball at the AQ 35.
Special teams have been a problem for Aquinas this year. We mentioned it earlier, 2 blocked extra points so far in the season, a third in tonight's game, and there you see the long snap, just a sloppy long snap. And you didn't get the ball in Chris Jean's hand, but you didn't do yourself any favor here. Short field for UPrep could spell bad news for Aquinas' defense.
UPrep down by 1. They've got the ball. Noah Hill, the quarterback. He's going to throw. Hill, lots of time. Throws over the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of Juelz Russell. I think Juelz Russell was knowing he was going to get hit by Jake Smith. Couldn't pull it in. Incomplete. Lots of time.
I was going to say, great job by the Griffins line there and preventing any kind of pass rush at all. You had Hill basically picking his spot. Perfect pass, just not able to grip that there. Juelz Russell with the drop downfield. Take a look at Tyrell Simmons, who had the touchdown earlier for UPrep.
Hill out of the shotgun. Russell goes into motion. It's a snap that goes back and then having to fall on it. And I'm not sure with Russell kind of going into motion, did that force Hill to take his eye off the ball? Luckily for UPrep, they are able to fall on it, but now it's 3rd and very long.
Clock ticking. UPrep opting not to use a timeout. No timeout being called here by Aquinas as well.
I don't believe UPrep has any timeouts left. Whistle. And Aquinas will use one of their timeouts. Still a lot of football to be played here for this season, but Aquinas not used to starting a season 0-2.
I mean, the thought of starting 0-3.
Yeah.
Do we know the last time that ever happened?
I do not.
You have to do some digging. I mean, that's just out of character for this program, this story program that's always been viewed as one of the top programs in Section 5. I like what UPrep's got going on here. I like the helmets that you were just talking about. We got Rochester's own version of the U.
That's right. First charter school, as Kevin Roche mentioned at the top of the broadcast, to win a sectional championship in football.
They're a good-looking team. Great balance, speed, power. They've got some playmakers.
Boy, look at Aquinas. They're going to play 5 men about 20 yards off the field. Okay, so 3 high safeties here. So they're going to give UPrep everything and then some underneath.
Yeah, keep everything in front of them here and try to prevent the first down from happening.
All right, if I'm UPrep, I take what I can get and then get it to 4th down and do it all over again. As Hill takes the snap, AQ sends only 3. Hill's going to step up, and is he going to take off? No, throws on the run, and it's a miscommunication. I think he thought Terrell Simmons was going to go down the boundary, but Simmons cut the route off. Simmons was open. This brings up 4th down, and an opportunity wasted as UPrep had it. 1st and 10 at the Aquinas 35, but a bad snap. And it helps to kill this drive for the Griffs.
Now, again, with 34 seconds on the clock, you're Aquinas, you get the ball back here. You're not going to have great field position, but you have had a pretty good connection between White, and specifically between White and Tyler Latone. Do you go to the air? Do you risk the turnover? Do you risk turning it over late in the second quarter?
And Aquinas is not even going to mess around with this one. They're going to let it roll out of bounds. all the way down to the 18-yard line. 27 seconds remaining, and I'm guessing Coach Anacino will just take a knee here. Yeah, you have the lead. Don't risk anything.
UPrep will receive the second half kickoff.
And indeed, that's going to be the plan here, as Michael White will take a knee. Aquinas has been in this position before, leading at the half, and will this time be different here? Here in week 3, as we still have time on the clock here, and I don't think they'll make Aquinas do this again. We're under 10 seconds remaining here. All right, now they'll let the Little Irish kind of go off the field. We've reached the half here. Downtown Rochester, at the stadium that's had a lot of different names over the years. Here at the Rochester Sports Complex. 13-12 is our score, and it's been C.J. Robinson, the main man on offense so far for the Little Irish. He has the 4-yard touchdown run, a 1-yard touchdown run. The Little Irish moving the football here, and their defense doing a good job. We send it downstairs. Kevin Roche, take it away.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Here with Aquinas head coach Derek Anacino. Coach, your offense played well in that first half. What did you like that you saw?
I like the fact that we were moving the ball, able to take some time off the clock and, keep their playmakers off the field. They're a great football team. They're explosive as can be, and we got to try and keep limiting their big plays and control the football, and that's what we were able to do so far. We got another half to go, though.
When you see those speedsters in person, how much different is that than watching them on a film?
They're faster in person than they look on the film. They're a great football team. They're well coached, and hopefully we're going to come out and get them this half.
Best of luck in the second half. Appreciate your time. Head coach Derek Anacino up by 1 at the half, guys.
All right, thank you, Kevin. As 13-12 is our score. We've got some things planned for you coming up here at the halftime show, presented by Storm Basement Waterproofing, Dry Basement Living. Here it's William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Billy Whitaker Ford on CW Rochester.
Iron Cairo, helping you perform at the highest level. Teens are in the most physically demanding time of their life. From oversized backpacks to competitive sports, there is a lot of wear on their bodies and little to no solutions available. At Iron Cairo, we work daily with countless families to solve these obstacles that take away from performance in school, sports, and overall quality of life. Iron Cairo is centered around evidence-based treatment that is personalized and proven to increase performance and expedite the healing process. Upgrade your performance and move in the right direction with Iron Cairo today.
Should have called Kangaroo.
Yeah, give us a call. Kangaroo. We hop to it.
Jane was injured on Washington Avenue in Albany. Linda on Main Street in Buffalo. Paul on West Kennedy in Syracuse. There are thousands of streets in our state. If you're seriously injured on any one of them, there's only one avenue, straight to William Mattar. The largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. Hurt in a car, call William Mattar, 444-4444.
Welcome to Independence. People here, they're all running from something.
Is something rattling you?
My husband was killed.
Who killed him?
The new sheriff? You asked me if I was staying here for revenge. Maybe it's justice.
Walker, Independence. New series premieres Thursday, October 6th, only on the CW.
Well, welcome back to Friday Night Rivals and the Storm Basement Halftime Report. Time now to introduce you to this week's Triple O Scholar Athlete. Maya Parks is an award-winning track and field athlete at Aquinas. In addition to sports, she takes pride in her academic achievements, earning a 96 grade point average. Maya is active in youth ministry and enjoys drawing, painting, and dance. The Scholar Athlete program recognizes students who achieve both on and off the field. Now, at the end of the season, one winner will be selected to receive a $5,000 scholarship to the school of their choice. We're grateful to Triple O Heating and Cooling for their generous support of the Scholar Athlete program. We're at the half here tonight. Aquinas leading UPrep 13-12. More of our halftime report presented by Storm Basement coming up here. This is William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Billy Whitaker Ford on CW Rochester.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and next to bat for Bill Grays is the world's greatest cheeseburger. Strangely, it's still anyone's game. Come on! Bill Grays is the top-ranked team, but they can't seem to get a run today. Something fishy is going on here. Pitcher is out of here. That's what he gets for throwing a grease ball. That's an illegal pitch. Home run! The world's greatest cheeseburger does it again.
We are Storm Basement Waterproofing.
Our services include foundation wall repair, basement waterproofing, sub pump installation, and sub pump maintenance. We're looking at a whole home solution for people with dealing with moisture problems, basement waterproofing problems that they're having.
When we're done with everything, it's the product that really stands out. Give us a call at 585-622-2717, or better yet, you can even check us out online at stormbasementwaterproofing.com.
Four Winds Chimney is a full-service chimney and fireplace company. We cover everything top to bottom, inside and out when it comes to the chimney and fireplace system. Services that we offer include chimney sweeps and inspections, all types of safety inspections, chimney rebuilding, chimney repair, custom cap installation, gas fireplace and wood stove installation as well. Our phone number is 585-727-1174, or our website is fourwindschimney.com.
How cool is William Mattar? He once bowled a 300. Over 4 games, goes by his nickname. He's the life of the party.
Sweater, but it wasn't a dog, it was a banana.
Sort of.
Hey,
so how cool is William Mattar?
Very cool.
Heard in a car? Call William Mattar.
Beautiful night here for football as we're back here in downtown Rochester. Battle of two of the top programs here in Class AA. Aquinas leading 13-12 over UPrep. The third member of our broadcast team down on the field, Kevin Roche.
All right, guys, happy to be joined by Aquinas Athletic Director Anthony Bianchi. You know, I saw you earlier on the sideline. You had to move pretty quick. You still got some moves.
Yeah, I was warning Danny Camilio to get out of our one of our coaches, and I got taken out.
Yeah, it's tough on the sideline. You got to be careful. The action's fast and furious here tonight. Well, I got to ask you about AA UPrep coming up this year. You guys with a little bit of an uphill battle now at 0-2. How tough is this AA this year?
Well, AA is always competitive. There's you're in tough games, you know, week in, week out. And UPrep, very well coached. They've done a great job building this program. So, you know, each and every week you line up, you're going to be in for a battle.
Your son, we saw him last week at Penn Field. They fell to Pittsburgh. They're 1-1 on the season. They'll be at Fairport tomorrow afternoon. Your thoughts on just watching him take over that program and trying to make a difference in Penfield?
Right. So I know how hard he's working. He's working very hard. So, you know, he knew it was going to be a process, and he's just staying positive, and, you know, he's coaching as hard as he can. The offseason, they worked really hard, you know, in the weight room, but it's just going to be a matter of more kids coming out, staying with it, being committed to football. You know, as we all know, to play this game, you got to be committed to it. So, you know, those kids are working hard. They're trying hard, and I'm very proud of them.
Getting back to the standings right now, RH near the top, UPrep near the top. You guys are at the bottom right now. You look at it, it's only 2 games, but, man, this season goes by fast. How difficult is it going to get back into this race, especially knowing 2 teams are going to go to the States from this area?
Right. No, that's true. So, really it's just getting better one play at a time. I know that sounds cliche, and just keep working, keep improving, because at the end of the it's at the end of the year when it counts. But each and every night you line up against teams like this, the margin for error is small. So we just have to keep working, staying positive. Our coaching staff, the kids are working hard, and we'll see how the second half goes. But one play at a time.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time here tonight, and best of luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
All right, Anthony Bianchi, the athletic director at the Aquinas Institute. We're at the half here on Friday Night Rivals. 13-12, Aquinas leading over UPrep. This is Friday Night Rivals on CW Rochester.
As if you don't already have enough on your mind, I'm sure you don't want to worry about the stress of car shopping. That's why at Ide Honda, we don't lure you in with a misleading low payment, only to disappoint you with bad news when you get here and have you find out that there's thousands of dollars hidden down in the fine print. At Ide Honda, we're upfront right from the start, so your car buying process can be easy, honest, and even fun. So if you're in the market for a vehicle, come visit us at Ide Honda. We'd love to earn your business.
You don't choose to get hurt at work, but you can choose the workers' comp attorneys at Connors and Ferris to fight for your money and medical benefits you deserve.
With over 20 years of industry experience, we will give your case our undivided attention so that you and your family can focus on your recovery.
So call Connors and Ferris, the workers' comp attorneys dedicated to fighting for injured workers' rights.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
This is Quickfill Country, a land of majestic landscapes, natural wonders, and pristine waterways, all waiting to be explored. And with the Quickfill mobile app, adventure is right at your fingertips. Download the free mobile app and start fueling your discovery. Click the compass to find local points of interest and the best route to get you there. Your next journey is less than a tank of gas away. Quickfill, fueling discovery.
Welcome to Independence. People here, they're all running from something.
Is something rattling you?
My husband was killed.
Who killed him?
The new sheriff. You asked me if I was staying here for revenge. Maybe it's justice.
Walker, Independence. New series premieres Thursday, October 6th, only on the CW.
Back here tonight as we are at the half, our storm basement waterproofing halftime report, dry basement living. Take a look at some of the first half highlights here. Back and forth game as it was Aquinas striking first. And really this was a drive completely on the ground as it would be Robinson for 4 yards out. Now the extra point was blocked. Can file that one away. Boy, what a great individual effort by Simmons, climbing the ladder, 7-yard touchdown over Giddens. But the extra point, the 2-point conversion attempt, not good. So 6-6 would be our score. Robinson, he gets belted, but he crosses the plane. That's good enough for the touchdown. Extra point up and good. 13-6 is our score. And then Wynn plowing his way ahead for a 7-yard touchdown run. Going for 2, does not get it. 13-12. Is our score. The one turnover came on the first drive there for Aquinas, an interception by Michael White. But after that, really got to like the job that White has done settling down this Aquinas offense.
Absolutely, and when you look at the difference there in the rushing yards between the passing yards for Aquinas, you can see the kind of evening that C.J. Robinson has had. They've had their way on the ground against this UPrep defense.
Yeah, time of possession a little bit. And UPrep, maybe the yardage isn't there, but they've had some big special teams play. The one big play by Chris Jean on the return, setting up a short field, which gave UPrep their first touchdown eventually.
Yeah, I mean, if UPrep wants to win this game, I have a feeling it's going to come on the legs of Chris Jean in some way, shape, or form. He's so dynamic, and after scoring 3 touchdowns against a tough McQuaid squad last weekend, you have to imagine that he's going to gain some of that momentum back here in the second half.
Well, both teams are warming up, so let's step aside, and then we'll come back, and we will have our third quarter. Great game here tonight. We're glad you're with us here. It's Friday Night Rivals. William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Billy Whitaker Ford here on CW Rochester.
We are Storm Basement Waterproofing. Our services include foundation wall repair, basement waterproofing, sub pump installation, and sub pump maintenance. We're looking at a whole home solution for people with dealing with moisture problems, basement waterproofing problems that they're having.
When we're done with everything, it's the product that really stands out. Give us a call at 585-622-2717, or better yet, you can even check us out online at stormbasementwaterproofing.com.
Should have called Kangaroo.
Yeah, give us a call. Kangaroo. We hop to it. Triple O. Service so good, you'll find a reason to call us. Your one stop for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical.
Hi, it's Billy from Whitaker Ford. There are some misconceptions about the used car and truck market. I want to talk to you about facts versus fiction. Fiction, buying used vehicles is the same everywhere. Fact, here at Whitaker Ford, we put every vehicle through our rigorous 200-point inspection, and we replace or repair anything that needs it. Check us out at WhitakerFord.com, where we'll make sure you're good to go.
(13-12). Aquinas leading UPrep as we're getting ready to start the second half. We send it downstairs to Kevin.
Guys, here with head coach for UPrep, Isaiah Young. Coach, you told us earlier this week Aquinas is the best 0-2 team you've seen so far this year. What adjustments do you want to see from your team to be victorious here tonight?
I think defensively, just slowing down their run game right now. They're doing a great job running the ball, so we got to figure that out.
All right, best of luck in the second half. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Guys.
Isaiah Young taking over this program and doing a great job. And I think he's right. If we're looking at our halftime adjustments there, that's certainly one thing you got to key in on. Tonight here from the downtown stadium. Take a look at our Iron Cairo second half adjustments for each team. And, for danger, for Aquinas, this is pretty simple.
Yeah, don't beat yourselves up. I mean, don't beat yourselves. Clean up the details, play fundamental football, and keep running the ball the way you've been able to run the ball in the first half. And you just heard Coach Young mention it for UPrep. Defensively, focus on stopping that run because they've had their way running the football. Aquinas has had their way running the football here through the course of the first half, and it's playing right into their game plan, right into what they want to do, which is keeping UPrep's offense off the field.
Iron Cairo, moving in the right direction. IronCairo.com. We appreciate their sponsorship and everybody here tonight on Friday Night Rivals. UPrep won the coin toss and is the custom by most teams. Although we didn't see that last week at Penfield. Penfield said, no, we're going to take it. But UPrep won the coin toss. They defer. And it'll be a couple different players back here. As Darius Poles, number 5, will be back, as well as Jewels Russell, number 5. Bronco to kick this one off. It's the Bill Grace kickoff. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Bill Grace. Bill Gray's here at the stadium, too.
Yeah, you can smell it in the from the concession stands here at the Rochester Community Sports Complex.
As UPrep picking it up, that's a live ball if Aquinas got to that. So the short kick, and UPrep will take it over 31. But all things considered, with their return game, it's not the worst thing for Aquinas. And now UPrep down by 1. Noah Hill in the offense going back to work. And for Aquinas, can they somehow force a takeaway here? UPrep just does not cough up the ball whatsoever.
No, this is a very well-disciplined team here. UPrep head coach Isaiah Young, and really the entire UPrep charter school here, preparing these young men for the next level and setting them up for the best future possible in their life after high school. Coach wanted us to make sure we mentioned that he's got a very supportive fiance who lets him do what he needs to do during the football season for these young men.
1st and 10 at the 32. That'll be Poles looping into motion, and the handoff is going to go to Gene. Gene has the first down yardage as he'll be tripped up, but not before he gets it across the 45 and up to the 46-yard line. Play good for another Kangaroo first down. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, the home of Kangaroo. Or we hop to it.
Yeah, you might have seen some eyes in the backfield there, keeping an eye on what Poles was doing as he was in motion, and that just opened up a nice hole there for Gene, who's explosive with the ball in his hand, to say the least. We've seen it from him all night tonight.
Number 44, Isaiah Moonshine, will come out and act as a fullback here on this 1st and 10 play at their own 46-yard line. Opening drive here of the second half. Noah Hill is your quarterback. Hill handing it off to Gene, and Gene will pick his way into Aquinas territory, and that pile moving forward all the way down to the AQ 47-yard line.
Running it right up the gut on this one, and Lucas Leone, who was injured earlier in this game, making the tackle from the middle linebacker position for Aquinas.
Chris Jean and his teammates looking back at the sideline for the call as it's signaled in. 2nd down and 3. Terrell Simmons on the near boundary. Russell going into motion. Play action, Russell, and that was just short-armed.
Yeah, I think Hill would like that pass back, maybe a little bit more air underneath that one, as he had his guy open in the flat.
Well, that's always the thing. If you're going to throw that sort of pass, it's better to be too short than too long. But still a very makeable down and distance here. 3rd down and 3, we'll call it. Gene is the single setback. It's going to be a pass as Hill setting it up over the middle. And it's going to be caught. A broken tackle. It's Richards. Richards near sideline. No, it's actually going to be number 9. Going to the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown. UPrep. That's another American Exteriors and Interiors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares. Dakari Carter breaking a tackle and taking it to the house. How do you like that?
Yeah, great play by Dakari Carter. The quarterback on defense for this UPrep Griffins team, but playing tight end on offense. And you see some of that ability down the field here, breaking some tackles, evading some tacklers, taking it to the house. And UPrep finds themselves in the lead.
47 yards on that play. And that's why you defer. Come out, take advantage of that. And for the first time tonight, the Griffs have the lead. Now they're going to go for 2, and we get a flag down, and it's going to be a false start.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
What a time to have the first target for the tight end there. Dakari Carter. So back them up. This is a 2-point conversion from the 7. Not an easy play to make. The fade pattern right side, and it's just overthrown. So the conversions have been an issue for UPrep. But the Griffs take their first lead tonight. It's 18-13 here in the 3rd quarter.
Dakari Carter, so impressive when we had the chance to talk to him earlier this week, and you could tell that this means a lot to him. This means a lot to him. The other captains of UPrep, they know about the Aquinas heritage. They know about the history, and they know that Aquinas traditionally wouldn't go 0-3. They would love to play spoiler tonight and continue their undefeated season up to this point.
And when we talked to Isaiah Young, he brought up a phrase, and you hear this sometimes about, the wounded animal is always very dangerous. Right. That would be Aquinas right now. And I'd say, look, whatever happens here tonight, we haven't reached the midway point yet, so there is still time, plenty of time here, because come sectional time, certainly it's important to get home games and the seeding and whatnot, but...
Well, let's see if what Coach Young said about Aquinas is true, because they are certainly backed into a corner right now, and if they come back and play as dangerous as he was saying that they could be, it starts now.
Wynn gets a kick off, and that's going to be fielded on one hop. Robinson bringing it up the far side, and will be taken down across the 35. 10:18 remaining here in quarter number 3. And for the first time tonight, Aquinas going to work on offense, trailing in this game, 18-13.
Robinson has been so impressive tonight for Aquinas. And that return there, you saw some of the vision on display. But, boy, he's been a force in the run game throughout the course of the first half. They were leaning on Robinson more so than any other back.
Jake Smith is out there, number 13. It'll be Terrell Richards to the near side. And Robinson will be a running back. Oriuso, the tight end, going into motion. Oh, it's a miscommunication as White is going to have to keep it himself. And, that's tough there. The first play coming out after half, what the play is going to be run, and you can see Michael White not happy with his teammates there after that blown assignment.
No, this is what we talked about, right? When you want to talk about halftime adjustments, don't beat yourself. And this is an example of, and not the first example so far tonight for Aquinas, where they've just been a little bit off, whether it's a holding penalty when you need to extend a drive or a miscommunication in the backfield that results in really a minimal play.
Takari Carter patrolling that middle of the field, a linebacker position. This is 2nd down and 7. As White takes the snap, and he'll hand off as Robinson scooting ahead. Not for much to bring up 3rd down. Third down and 4.
See Caleb Wilson, tight end, checking in for Aquinas and the Lil Irish. Maybe they go a little bit bigger on this 3rd down play.
Michael White handing it off on 3rd down. Pile moving forward. That's going to be just enough for the 1st down. Aquinas picking it up. That's good enough for a Kangaroo 1st down. Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, the home of Kangaroo. We hop to it.
So the jumbo package pays off there for Aquinas as they got the push they needed up front. And there you see Robinson doing what he's been doing all night, converting and making plays when his offense needs him to.
Well, Aquinas keep it on the ground. They've had success. That was our Iron Cairo halftime adjustment for UPrep. Just doing everything you can to stop the run. Ariuso going into motion, the tight end. He's going to act as a fullback as now the play will go in. However, flag coming down right at the line of scrimmage. Fourth penalty tonight on the Lil Irish.
We have a personal foul, illegal hands to the face on the offense, 15 yards, replay the down.
Just a killer. Just an absolute killer. You gain some momentum, and then you have a personal foul penalty knocking you back 15 yards.
Well, I guess the good news was it was on 1st down, so you can just try to get this back in chunks here. 1st down and 25 now. You got to get to the UPrep 38.
Yeah, big for UPrep's defense here while you have Aquinas on their heels backed up.
pressing at the line of scrimmage on the near side. It goes over to the far side, and then getting it up to about the 49-yard line. That's Richards. This field, they just redid this back in 2019 here at the Downtown Sports Complex. Still relatively new.
You see a lot of the Aquinas players wearing that second skin to avoid the turf burn. Some sleeves on the UPrep side of the field as well.
Good gain on the play. It's now 2nd down and 13. UPrep crowding that line of scrimmage. Here's the handoff, and then trying to get to that second level. Well, from 1st and 25, now this will bring up about 3rd and 7. As that's C.J. Robinson on the carry, and Robinson has been the workhorse back tonight for the Little Irish. Third down and 7. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. White takes the snap. He's going to set up the backside screen to Robinson, and Robinson isn't able to get anything on that middle screen. Nice play there. Isaiah Moonshine, number 44, in on the tackle.
Yeah, and 21 Melton was also in on there too, and really sniffed out the screen pass before they were able to get anything going there. Great read by the UPrep defense to force a 4th down.
Yeah, and Derek Anacino not going to risk anything here on 4th and 7. Now the dangerous Chris Jean is back. Michael White last time, his last punt, he did everything he could after the bad snap to get that off. This is a good snap. And White is going to kick it to Jean. Does Jean call for the fair catch? No, he doesn't. And he gets clobbered. He didn't have a chance to catch the ball. There's Trent Hill. Well, I can understand. Usually that is a fair catch that you would be calling. But Trent Hill, nonetheless, you still got to give the opportunity for Jean to make the catch.
If you're Aquinas' special teams, you can't win, can you? You try to... You punt it to him, and you have a penalty. You punt it away from him, and skirts out of bounds, and you're giving him good field position.
We have kick-catching interference on the kicking team. 15 yards from the spot, 1st down.
5th penalty tonight on the Little Irish, and the last 2 have been the 15-yard variety.
Yeah, you didn't see a fair catch signal at all from Jean,
no,
but you also saw the player get there before the ball did, and that's a no-no. Trent Hill a little too aggressive on that play. Jean on the sideline, by the way, to start this drive.
Okay, so they're going to go with Wynn. And the thunder and lightning kind of combo here. We're making that up. Is now Wynn will get the call, gets around the corner. He's got a head of steam, and, well, it's coming back. We think there's a flag down here as he goes into Aquinas territory. 2 flags are down, in fact. And a penalty now against UPrep. And look, when you get these holding calls, you know what that is? That's just great play on the front 7 for both of these teams. Sometimes you're just getting outmanned, outmatched.
Eugene checking back into the game. They shake out the cobwebs after taking that hit on the
offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still 1st down.
After taking that hit in a punt return that never was.
If Hill doesn't make that play. Oh, yeah, look at that. There was another hold on that play. Oh, yeah, there's...
Could have seen a face mask there, too, from Aquinas.
Oh, and then Wynn losing his hat at the end of that. Jeez. A lot going on that play. Russell looping around. It's going to be Jean. It's on the turf. And it's fallen on by UPrep.
It's like Hill fell back on that.
It's a couple times tonight. One on the bad snap, Hill recovering, and that time just eating it. All now on the 21. We passed the midway point here of the 3rd.
Isaiah Moonshine checking back in for the UPrep offense.
Terrell Simmons is going to be the receiver to the top of the screen. 2nd down and 15. Aquinas 2 deep safeties on this play. And we've got movement again.
False start on the offense. 5 yards, still second down.
This is new in downtown Rochester because with AAA baseball now extending their season, the Red Wing game's over, and we have fireworks going on here, which I don't think we've ever had an event here at the downtown soccer stadium with the fireworks going on at the same time. But
yeah, you got the Rochester Community Sports Complex, the soccer stadium that has carried many names through the years. But one thing is certain on a Friday night, if the Wings are in town, you're getting some fireworks, and that's what we have here
we've
right
never
behind
had
the scoreboard.
Right, but we've never had that in September. Like, this is the, last year, but first time we've had games into September. You know what? Keep the fireworks going. Keep summer going. Why not? Is now the screen pass far side and trying to move his way forward. That's going to be number 4, Darius Poles. And what do you know? We have another flag down. We have an Aquinas player down as well. That's Leone, a little slow to get up. He's played hard tonight. And this one will be coming back. Or maybe not. We'll see if Coach Anacino decides to accept the penalty.
A little block in the back.
As the fireworks continue to go off.
We have an illegal block in the back on the offense. 10 yards from the spot, still second down. Number 8.
So UPrep going in the wrong direction. If you're just coming back to the game, UPrep with the opening drive, Dakari Carter, 47 yards on the reception. Aquinas couldn't do anything with the ensuing possession. Now UPrep is kind of stuck in neutral here to get going here in this next drive. Faced with a 2nd down and 20, and they're going to go back to the ground game as Wynn is not going to be able to break the tackle. That's Lucas Leone holding on, and also over there to help out was Jake Smith. 55, Lucas Leone playing really hard tonight.
Dinged up earlier in the first half. Good to see him back on the field and playing hard.
Call that a gain of 4. This is 3rd down and 16. This is the opportunity for Aquinas to get off the field. The snap. Gene will catch this. Gene, can he make a move? Trying to get around the left side, and oh my goodness, he got it. He had 2 defenders in front of him. Chris Gene with a highlight play for the ages. That's a Kangaroo first down, presented by Lakeside Roofing and Contracting, the home improvement company, home of Kangaroo, where we hop to it. 3rd down and 18. He picked it up.
What more can you say about Chris Gene?
Oh, he didn't pick it up. They're going to say he went out of bounds.
The Aquinas defense sniffed this out. And, yeah, you can see the step right there.
Oh, he did, yep.
Just short on the far side.
Good call by the officials. So we jumped the gun on the first down call there. And there doesn't seem to be any argument from the UPrep side. And Aquinas, they got it done in the end. As Wynn to boot this away. It's high and it's short. And everybody's going to have that fire call for Aquinas. And it's going to be right on that midfield stripe. So the Little Irish down by 5. Get the ball back here in the 3rd quarter. It's William Attar's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Billy Whitaker Ford here on CW Rochester.
As if you don't already have enough on your mind, I'm sure you don't want to worry about the stress of car shopping. That's why at Ide Honda, we don't lure you in with a misleading low payment, only to disappoint you with bad news when you get here and have you find out that there's thousands of dollars hidden down in the fine print. At Ide Honda, we're upfront right from the start, so your car buying process can be easy, honest, and even fun. So if you're in the market for a vehicle, come visit us at Ide Honda. We'd love to earn your business.
If you own a hybrid or battery charged vehicle, the Gateway electric vehicle charging system is your path to the easiest, most affordable way to travel. It's easy to install in your own garage, good for the environment, and the Gateway app provides you with all the information to get you safely to your destination. Just plug, charge, and you're on your way. Gateway works on all electric cars and trucks, and the Level 2 charger provides superior mileage on every charge. You won't want to use anything else.
The Illuminating Expression scoring summary as we are in the third quarter, and it's UPrep. You know, it's 6-6-6. Well, that means that they just couldn't get the two-point conversion each time. And 18-13, our odd score here. 47 yards, that play going to Dakari Carter. That is the difference here tonight. And still, our player of the game way up for grabs here. Conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be handing out our William Mattar player of the game, presented by William Mattar. Hurt in a car, call William Mattar.
Well, let's see here. Aquinas has Robinson with his 2 touchdowns. He basically had his way in the run game. UPrep is really balanced on offense. Boy, they've gotten the ball in all the hands of all of their playmakers tonight. And after scoring 3 touchdowns against McQuaid last weekend, you have to wonder when Chris Jean might see pay dirt at some point this evening.
Michael White has C.J. Robinson in the backfield. Robinson gets the call. Robinson trying to get around that right corner. Is Jean trying to chase him down. Jean will get the tackle, but not before it goes down to the 44-yard line for about a gain of 6.
Nice job by the right side of that Lil Irish offensive line. Drew Eddy at right guard. Aaron McDaniels at right tackle, holding their blocks, creating a little bit of a seal there for Robinson to get around the outside for the nice gain on first.
We'll call it a gain of 5. Second down and 5. Tanner Oriuso be lined up as an H-back here. Michael White out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, and he's going to hand off to Robinson. Robinson gets held up. A flag coming way from the back judge on this play. Dylan Hill, our back judge tonight. Oh, boy.
Low block.
That right. Low block on the offense. Take it back.
This is a story tonight for Aquinas. It really is. Like, you do some good things.
Personal foul. Illegal block below the waist on the offense. 15 yards. Still second down.
Yeah, and Gene, we see enough Aquinas games where it almost feels like this is a symptom of Little Irish football when things aren't going their way. And you see the low block right there. Yeah. You see...
looking at that, I kind of agree with the truck. Tyler Latone got kind of pushed over. Did he really, that's a tough one for Aquinas on that one to take. Now, if trying to figure out the down and distance, I'm going to call it second down and 21. So Latone getting called for that penalty, but again, that was just the pile kind of spilling over there.
He's had some big plays in the passing game tonight for the Little Irish.
Aquinas down by 5 as we're getting late here in the third quarter. White thought about the screen left, going to go screen right, and that time no one is fooled. Trent Hill with a short reception to bring up 3rd and long. And with the tackle, there's number 3, Rajon Yeomans.
Yeah, it took just a step there for Hill to secure that screen pass, and that second proved to be costly. UPrep moving in. Rajon Yeomans, part of this impressive UPrep defense. See the big man, Desmir Favor, checking in.
Yeah. 3rd down and 20. White takes the shotgun snap. White's going to check down for Robinson. Robinson doesn't have nowhere to go there. Nazir Wynn was right on the outside, number 34, not fooled at all. And Aquinas, no choice but to punt it away here in the 3rd. Again, penalties, stalling out the drive. Although one of those penalties we're kind of questioning. So Chris Jean, who got belted last time, after he did not call the fair catch. The 15-yard penalty was assessed against Aquinas. White is blocked. It's blocked. And Aquinas is going to fall on it. And UPrep getting a big special teams play there. Two busted through there for the Griffs, as they're going to have great field position.
Yeah, Simmons getting in there, making a big play on special teams. And special teams, once again, hurting Aquinas. We saw the missed extra point. They've already missed 3 on the season. That was earlier in the game. And now a blocked punt. We had a low snap on a punt earlier tonight. Just small little details with Aquinas that seem to fall through the cracks. And every time we've had the chance to see Aquinas, it feels like that's the storyline.
3 receivers to the right. In the backfield is Chris Jean. Noah Hill, who has 2 touchdown passes tonight. Hill takes the snap. Here comes the blitz, and Hill's going to step up, throws, wants a man deep, has a man behind. It's gone. Touchdown. Touchdown. Jewels Russell with the touchdown. 37 yards. 3rd touchdown pass tonight. That's another American Custom Exteriors and Interiors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares.
It all came together for the Griffins on this play. Offensively, you had an offensive line holding their blocks. You had a quarterback in Noah Hill scrambling and getting out of the pocket and delivering a perfect pass downfield. And Jewels Russell getting behind the AQ secondary for his first touchdown of the night.
For the first time tonight, UPrep is up by 2 scores here, and they're going to go for 2 as they have gone for 2 every time tonight. Win is the single setback. Win will get the call, and Win will be brought down. So that's Leone with the tackle, and that's kind of big because, well, that keeps it an 11-point game here, and 2 scores certainly for the Little Irish, but the big picture here, UPrep putting the foot on the pedal. They're up now 24-13.
As you mentioned, real impressive movement in the pocket there by Hill, stepping up and just unleashing a perfect pass to Jewels Russell, getting behind that secondary of Aquinas. That'll be 6. A little celebration from the Griffs. Love to see it.
So after Robinson had that 1-yard touchdown run, Aquinas went ahead 13-6. It's an 18-0 run here for UPrep. That's exactly how they beat McQuaid. McQuaid got up, and it was a run in that game of 28-6 for UPrep as they held on at the end to beat the Knights.
Well, this is gut check time for Aquinas, right? You're down 2 scores. You've got about a quarter of football left to go. You're facing 0-3 to start the season. That's not going to sit well with a program that is esteemed as Aquinas is.
Here's the Bill Gray's kickoff. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Bill Gray's. It's a little squib kick that's going to be caught by Lil Irish and getting it up across close to the 40-yard line. And it'll be Richards, Terrell Richards. And it's been a lot of Robinson, but I'm just wondering. We've seen Giddens out there tonight for a few plays, but really he has not been involved in this offense whatsoever. And I'm just wondering if they can get Terrell Richards, who was our player of the game, to watch tonight. Can they get Richards a little more involved here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, at this point now, you might have to see Michael White making plays with his arm rather than watching the ground game with C.J. Robinson work, which has worked for most of tonight. But, time is going to be a factor here, and you need 2 scores. A lot riding on the arm of Michael White here down the stretch.
White will be out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right as the handoff will go to C.J. Robinson. And just a lot of blue and gold there to come up and make the tackle. Jalen Singleton, amongst others, making the tackle, but not before it gets up to about the 45. That goes for a gain of 6. And that will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. UPrep trying to show the world they belong here in Class AA. 24-13. The Griffs lead as we go to the fourth. It's Willie Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Billy Whitaker Ford, here on CW Rochester.
Where's Dad? I knew something else was coming.
So this is the war hero, huh? We're not gonna rest until we find him.
Walker. New episodes premiere Thursday, October 6th, only on the CW.
Tracy Door Company opens a door to the heart of the home. We're an employee service company and proudly stand by the Tracy name for top quality residential and commercial garage doors. Tracy Door Company installs garage doors to blend seamlessly with your home. We outfit large commercial warehouses to single workspaces and offer professional repair services for your current doors. Call Tracy Door Company today.
For 3 generations, the Tracy Door Company.
Iron Chiro, helping you perform at the highest level. Teens are in the most physically demanding time of their life. From oversized backpacks to competitive sports, there is a lot of wear on their bodies and little to no solutions available. At Iron Chiro, we work daily with countless families to solve these obstacles that take away from performance in school, sports, and overall quality of life. Iron Chiro is centered around evidence-based treatment that is personalized and proven to increase performance and expedite the healing process. Upgrade your performance and move in the right direction with Iron Chiro today.
Protecting your home's worth pays off when you trust the experienced team at American Custom. We've all seen our homes go up in value, making home improvements a wise choice. If you think your home is worth a lot now, just wait until our team is done with it. Call American today.
Welcome to Independence. You know, people here, they're all running from something.
Is something rattling you?
My husband was killed.
Who killed him?
The new sheriff? You asked me if I was staying here for revenge. Maybe it's justice.
Walker, Independence. New series premieres Thursday, October 6th, only on the CW.
Glad you're with us here tonight in CW Rochester. Nothing better than Section 5 football. Gene Battaglia, Mike Danger, Kevin Roche. And it's time for the Lil Irish here to dig deep.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're facing 0-3 to start the season. That's not what Aquinas football has been about ever. I mean, let's see what they have here with 12 minutes left. Leave it all on the field. Certainly Michael White, somebody you expect to step up. You expect that offensive line. As they go, this team goes, you expect those big boys up front to create some space. And let's see if the Little Irish can pull off a little bit of a comeback here. Down 11 heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and for UPrep, beat Victor, you beat McQuaid, and now you've got Aquinas on the ropes here to begin the fourth quarter. You know, for UPrep, everybody thought, oh, you're going up to AA. Well, I don't know if that's such a good move, you know, and it's not their decision, certainly, but no. They're showing the world that, yeah, not only do they belong, but they are real contenders, As now, here will be the throw, and that will be good enough for the first down. The ball is out, though. It goes out of bounds. And Richards caught it, and then trying to make a move there, it came out.
And I want to say that was Green on the outside that maybe jarred that ball loose, going in for the tackle. Take another look at it here. And White can make plays with his arm, and we know that Richards could certainly make plays as well. Nope, yep, it was 21. That was Jalen Melton who came in, knocked the ball loose, and good break for Aquinas there with that fumble rolling out of bounds. We've got a flag on the play.
We're going to have 12 men on the field here for Aquinas. Their 7th penalty tonight.
Sloppy. Chino protesting. It looks like they might be picking it up.
Yeah, they're going to wave it off. You know what the confusion was? They had a player run off late there, so. All ready for football here. 1st and 10 at the UPrep 47. as Aquinas gets new life here. Michael White remains the quarterback. And it's going to be the handoff inside to Robinson. Melton coming up to make the tackle as it goes across the 45 and down to the 43-yard line for a gain of 4.
That's 2 plays in a row now that you've seen this Griffins D get after the football. We saw jar it loose on the previous play out of Richards' hands. That fumble scooting out of bounds. And they were going after with Robinson carrying the ball there as well.
Tano Oriuso checking in, number 25. Richards is to the far side. The snap, and Robinson will get the call. And Robinson is wrapped up from behind. Boy, defensive playmakers everywhere for this UPrep team. That was Jalen Singleton, number 27, with the tackle.
Yes, Tano Ariuso and others making some good blocks on the edge, but right up the middle, the penetration just too strong for Aquinas on that play.
3rd down and 5, and considering you're down by 2 scores, you wonder, they don't get it here, if they would go for it. Latone will be the receiver in the slot to the left. Inside handoff to Robinson once again, finds a block. Robinson's got the first down, keeps those legs moving, and is across the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. Big first down presented by the Tracy Door Company. Get a Tracy Door. You get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
He's been the workhorse all night for Aquinas. C.J. Robinson with his 2 touchdowns here, and look at the movement there and the vision, exploiting that hole, and then the burst, get the first down. Not an easy guy to bring down either. 3 guys there end up bringing down Robinson at the end of the play.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Big drive for Aquinas. They are down by 11 here in the 4th quarter. Richards to the near side. Robinson is your running back. Going to motion is Jake Smith, number 13. And the handoff goes to Robinson again. And that pile will move ahead for about a gain of 5 down to the 21. It'll keep that clock moving, though. As Mary Favor will check in, number 54.
How impressive is Robinson when you consider that he's still only a sophomore for this Lil Irish team? They got a couple of really special sophomores on both sides of the ball here that are making plays between Leone and Robinson.
The snap, the handoff going to Robinson again. Robinson lowering the shoulder. He's going to be short of the marker. That was Favor and others on the tackle. This brings up 3rd down and short. Of course, Nazir Wynn, number 34. Can't overlook his effort here tonight. And we are back in the Ide family of dealerships red zone, just across the 20-yard line. Or as Aquinas fans would say, that's not red, that's maroon. 3rd down and short. On the snap, the handoff going, and that's going to be Robinson getting to the marker, scooting out of bounds. A Tracy Door Company first down. Get a Tracy Door. You get a whole lot more from the Tracy family. So the Lil Irish, this was the plan all along.
Yeah.
And it's not too late. If they can get a score here, still a lot of time.
Yeah. And they're doing on this drive what they've been able to do offensively for most of tonight. You know, you've had some miscues and penalties that have hurt them through the course of the evening, but one thing has been constant. C.J. Robinson has been fantastic running the football for the Lil Irish.
1st and 10 at the 13. Trey Walker in the slot to the right. Michael White. We're told we're going to rotate quarterbacks tonight. That hasn't happened. As White, he's got room on the left side if he wants it. He's buying time, evades one man, and now he's just going to duck out of bounds. And looking toward the end zone, there was nobody open.
See Michael White putting a lot of work to beat out the stiff competition of Ben Newman here this summer. And Coach Derek Onachino describes him as a steady force. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low.
Kind of what you want. No gain on that play. Second down, Robinson getting the call again. And look at this pile. That pile will move it. You know, Aquinas can pick up the first down without getting a touchdown, certainly, as that will go inside the 10. That is one of the best two-way linemen in Section 5. John Breedy, number 76, plowing the path there. Third down and 4. Handoff going inside, and that's close. It looks like it's going to be fourth down. Okay, so you need 2 scores. You do have a good field goal kicker in Bronco. I agree with his call, Danger. Go for it on fourth down. You're this close. White showing like he wants to go for it. They're going for it. White with the long count.
Try to draw him offside.
Yep, and now the timeout. No, UPrep will use the timeout. Okay. Well, I gave him my take. What say you, Danger?
Yeah, I'm for it. You're deep in UPrep zone. You're going to need to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here at some point.
Well, we'll find out what happens after this short break. William Matar's Friday Night Rivals presented by Billy Williker Ford here on CW Rochester.
Our storm basement waterproofing. Our services include foundation wall repair, basement waterproofing, sub pump installation, and sub pump maintenance. We're looking at a whole home solution for people with dealing with moisture problems, basement waterproofing problems that they're having.
When we're done with everything, it's the product that really stands out. Give us a call at 585-622-2717, or better yet, you can even check us out online at stormbasementwaterproofing.com.
There's your Illuminating Expression scoring summary here, and kind of add more detail. That was Aquinas leading 13-6, but since that point, it's been UPrep on an 18-0 run. Illuminating Expressions where light comes to life. And now this, I think it would be fair to say, your play of the game so far for Aquinas, faced with a 4th and 1 at the UPrep 6-yard line. And do not go for the field goal. You need 11 points here. Not going to have many better opportunities than this, perhaps, deep in UPrep territory.
Yeah, I mean, if you play it out, you need a score here with a 2-point conversion or a field goal. You need a stop, which has proved problematic. UPrep's offense is explosive. And then you need to get the ball back and score a second time here if you're Aquinas. Just a tie. Some big plays need to happen here if you're a Lil Irish supporter.
So off the timeout, Robinson, you would figure that he's going to get the call here. It's going to be stack receivers to the far side. White out of the shotgun. This is 4th down and 1. The snap, the delayed handoff, and they don't get it. UPrep is held. Takari Carter reading that one the whole way as Robinson is stopped short.
Big play out of the middle linebacker. Takari Carter saw it all the way. He's made big plays on both sides of the ball for the Griffins tonight. There you see the 6'2", 245-pound senior also play some tight end for the Griffins on offense. But coming up with the stop of the game right there on 4th and short. And turnover on downs. Let's see what UPrep does now to try and seal away this lead.
Fred Warner would have been proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Aquinas has a player late coming out here on this 1st and 10. So UPrep, who had one drive start at their own one. Chris Jean trying to get around the far side, and he'll be driven out of bounds. As Aquinas, everybody trying to hold their position there. And I'll stop the clock with 7:01 remaining. So again, Aquinas still looking for the first points here this half. And I guess the finer points of football for Chris Jean, don't run out of bounds. So you're up by 11, and he'll get the call again, but this time he's tripped up. And now it's an interesting down and distance, because remember, there really isn't a punter for this team, as Lucas Leone, number 55, making the tackle. 3rd down and 9. Three touchdown passes tonight for Noah Hill.
3 different touchdown receivers.
Yep, Carter, Russell, and number 8, Terrell Simmons. The snap and the flare pass, and it might have been tipped, not sure, but it goes incomplete. And Aquinas, let's stop the clock too. They're going to get great field position. So not getting the first down, it's not lethal here for the Little Irish. Midway through the 4th, they're going to get the ball back, down 2 scores.
Yeah, you needed a big stop by your defense there, and minimal time came off the clock as well. So consider that a win for Aquinas there, as you say. Quante Gillians, who got his hand up on that play to deflect that pass, break it up. Again, another impressive sophomore for this Little Irish squad that we'll be seeing here for the next few years.
Terrell Richards is deep back. He's in his own territory here, as it's a high snap, and that will be a high punt, a good punt that Richards still going to try to return. All sorts of defenders, and then he's going to get swallowed up. That's a good special teams play for UPrep, as Aquinas will start this drive at the UPrep 46.
All right, gut check time once again for the Aquinas offense. They made it down to the inside the red zone the last trip. Came away with no points. A 2-score game. Strike quickly.
Well, strike quickly and running the ball don't exactly go hand in hand.
That's
right. Homewood Suites is a proud sponsor of Friday Night Rivals in Henrietta. 334-9150 right on Highland Drive. Michael White is out of the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. White takes the snap. Rolling to his left, has a man wide open. And breaking a tackle will be Richards. Richards scooting ahead. Richards getting big yardage on the second effort. Gets it all the way down to the 17-yard line. That's a gain of 30. That play good for another. Tracy Door Company first down. Get a Tracy Door. You get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
Playmakers making plays for Aquinas. I thought that play was going to be a rough one. We had a late check-in on the outside before that play, but you get the ball into the hands of Terrell Richards, let him do the rest. Great work down the sideline there for the big gain.
Tyler Latone, the receiver, to the near boundary on 1st and 10. It's going to go back to Richards toward the end zone. Diving! Yes, touchdown. Touchdown, Little Irish. Terrell Richards. That was quick. And that's another American Custom Exteriors and Interiors touchdown. The home improvement company that cares.
Well, it was funny. From our point of view, it almost looked like Richards got pushed out of bounds and then came back in. But there you see it, going and getting it. Nice pass by White, putting it where only his guy could come down with it, and quickly. 2 quick plays by Terrell Richards on the receiving end of that Michael White touchdown pass.
All right, so does Aquinas go for 1-2? I would think you would go for 2 here. You don't want to risk anything. Boy, Richards, so that was a gain of 30.
White has the play, bringing it into the huddle. Let's see what Derek Anacino has dialed up. for this 2-point conversion.
I hear a whistle.
Fire up the game clock.
Yep. Here will be the snap. 2-point conversion attempt. White. Backside wide open. Beautifully drawn up. 2-point conversion is good. That's number 13, Jake Smith. And now Aquinas only down by 3, 24-21.
Great play call on the 2-play conversion, moving everything to the right side of the field. Smith leaking out to the left, wide open in the end zone. And the Aquinas defense, now all the pressure's on them. They were able to come up with a big stop the last time UPrep had the ball. Will they be able to slow down the speed of Chris Jean? Noah Hill, if he decides to take it to the air. We've seen him complete some big passes tonight as well, Gene.
Yeah, so it's going to be an exciting finish here. When we come back, William Attar's Friday Night Rivals presented by Billy Whitaker Ford. UPrep up by 3 here in the 4th on CW Rochester.
Four Winds Chimney is a full-service chimney and fireplace company. We cover everything top to bottom, inside and out when it comes to the chimney and fireplace system. Services that we offer include chimney sweeps and inspections, all types of safety inspections, chimney rebuilding, chimney repair, custom cap installation, gas fireplace and wood stove installation as well. Our phone number is 585-727-1174, or our website is fourwindschimney.com.
A closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by the wonderful group at 4 Winds Chimney, built to stand the test of time.
This game lived up to the hype, Gene.
It did. It did. I think Aquinas was hearing your commentary, Danger, coming right back here, clawing their way back into this. It's only a 3-point game. Now, for UPrep, I don't know. I would think you would, as great as their quarterback has been tonight, Noah Hill, I would have to think Aquinas' defense might be a little tired. Why not just go back to the ground game, because you have one of the best 1-2 punches in all of Section 5.
Yeah, Chris Jean has been remarkable running the football tonight for UPrep. His speed is unmatched on this field. And if UPrep can't get something going here offensively, I mean, it's probably their own doing. We saw that last drive kind of stall out when they came up with the 4th down stop.
It looks like UPrep is preparing as if this is going to be an onside kick, which is kind of strange.
They were short a couple of players.
Yeah, this is
a little confusion here for UPrep. Players substituting in and out.
Bronco is just going to go with the pooch kick, and it is not a fair catch, and it's going to be tackled immediately. Rajon Yeomans with the carry there, the return. All right, so 5:34 remaining. Aquinas has all their timeouts remaining. Dallas Harris, the center, and the rest of this offensive line. Can they pave a way here for this UPrep running attack? As Noah Hill will be at quarterback once again. Hill handing it off to Jean, and Jean keeping those legs moving, and Kingsley and others, everybody coming in. And Kingsley, number 47, a gain of 4. Bringing up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, see defensive tackle Rodney Tull in on that tackle as well. John Brady, who we mentioned earlier tonight. The defensive tackles getting involved for the Aquinas defensive line. We have an Aquinas player down on the field.
While we have the player down, we let you know where we're going to be next week. Going up to Webster, Thomas and Schrader. We had the honor of doing that game last year. That's fun when the whole town comes out.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a fun atmosphere. This year it's at Schrader.
It's like Tano Ariuso is up and moving around. Injured Aquinas player. Good to see him up walking off the field under his own power.
Second down and 6. Webster's the 30th. Kevin Roche is correcting me. We're at Avon Kelmum next week.
Whistles before the play here. Get some movement.
I've done, but they don't play each other. Leroy Kelmum was always the rivalry game. Kelmum, though.
Ball. Snap infraction on the center. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Dallas Harris.
Yeah.
Centering this offensive line. Kind of see, yep, just a little twitch there before he snapped the ball, and they'll get you for that. Probably doesn't hurt that you have Lucas Leone calling him out as well.
Gene getting around the near side. He's going to be belted out of bounds, but not before he picks up a big first down on 3rd down and 11. That first down presented by the Tracy Door Company. Get a Tracy Door, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy family.
Well, it was something coming into this game that head coach Derek Anacino said his defense needed to limit those big plays. UPrep is explosive offensively. That's the guy right there, Gene, who can make those kind of plays seem effortless. Once again, digging his offense out of a hole, getting the first down, continuing this drive with 4:47 left.
It does stop the clock, however, so that's in Aquinas' favor. So this will stay in between the tackles as you would expect, as Gene will bring it into Aquinas territory for a gain of 9. Helping to trip him up was Trent Hill. Nope, they're going to call that a first down. So they do mark it a first down. Another Tracy Door Company first down. Get a Tracy Door, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy family. And now, if you're UPrep, you can afford to bleed some clock here. It's only a 3-point game, but can somebody come up with a big defensive play for Aquinas?
Yeah, you're certainly hoping for a turnover here. You're looking to strip that ball if you can. Be surprised if UPrep goes to the air at any part of this drive.
It's going to be a long count. Jewels goes into motion, and then the read option. That was kind of a gutsy call, as pulling it back was Noah Hill. He had Chris Jean kind of going into the motion. I think Jean thought he was going to get the handoff, but that still goes for nice yardage. It goes for a gain of 6 to bring up 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, we haven't seen Hill run the ball too much there, but on that play, you get to see his athleticism on display, and he could certainly make some plays with his feet as well.
And what do you know? Coming back in is Nazir Wynn, number 34.
I've been really impressed with head coach Isaiah Young and this UPrep squad. He's got these guys playing at a very high level. Goes without saying, after winning the Class A1 Section 5 title last year. They look good here at AA.
Wynn is in the backfield. And it's a razzle-dazzle play as it's going to be pitched now. Getting the first down is Jewels Russell. Russell getting it across the 30, and he'll be knocked out of bounds. And there's a late flag coming down. It's all the way down to the 27. So before we call that a first down, just make sure, as one of the Aquinas players is pointing it's against UPrep. Let's wait for the official call. It's going to be against the Griffs.
Yeah, that's a shame. Thought I was watching Patrick Mahomes there for a second with a little touch pass to Jewels Russell.
We have holding on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay the down. 2nd down.
Eric Carpy, our director tonight. Let's take a look here and see. Oh, yeah. But and the thing is that you already have the first down at that point. Yeah. So now that you do not have the first down, so it'll be 2nd down and 4. Clock stop, 3:17 remaining, and they're going to go back to the ground game, and a great open field tackle there. Lucas Leone making the tackle. Now Aquinas will burn a timeout. Aquinas using their timeout after the loss of 1 to bring up third down.
Yeah, it looked like on that play, it looked like he ran into his own guy, like Stuart Smith there, the left tackle, and getting in the way there of a big Nazir win.
So our player of the game tonight. This is the truck kind of voting for this. Well, it's the one and only player who has multiple touchdowns tonight. C.J. Robinson, lots of yards tonight, 142, 2 touchdowns, and if they get the ball back, they're going to have to lean on him tonight. So I think it's just a case, Danger, where just UPrep was so balanced tonight, and really it's been just stepping up. Robinson big time tonight, the sophomore.
Absolutely. Big game by Robinson, almost like a coming out party, although I think if you've Aquinas faithful, you've seen him make these kind of plays so far this year. If you do end up losing tonight, if you're a Little Irish supporter and you fall to 0-3, I mean, you could take some solace in knowing you've got some sophomore studs on both sides of the ball for this Aquinas team, getting unbelievable experience here and playing time. They're only going to get better here over the course of the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, and I think, too, you want to make sure that you still got lots of football, 5 games to be played, and the sectional, so plenty of time to get things going in the right path. 3rd down and 5. That was our player of the game presented by attorney William Matar. Throw to the right side. That's going to be caught, and Poles will get the first down. And now Aquinas has to start thinking about using their other 2 timeouts with 3:04 remaining. Great touch pass going to Darius Poles, first down for UPrep.
The senior wide receiver transfer from Los Angeles. As we mentioned earlier, if the name sounds familiar, yeah, Poles is a cousin of Canandaigua grad and current Bears general manager Ryan Poles. Big play when his offense needed him there to get the first down.
Get a Tracy door, you get a whole lot more from the Tracy family. Russell looping around into motion, and the handoff will go to Gene. And Gene will be met by Hill. And a timeout will be used by Aquinas, and that will stop the clock with 2:28 remaining.
Gotta love the effort from Leone there, try to strip the ball away after the whistle and take it to the house. But what I love about that is that's exactly what Aquinas needs right now. It's desperation time. And on defense, you need a stop here. You need more than a stop. You need a turnover. You need the ball back in the hands of your offense.
Yeah, if you're Aquinas, I would think that you're thinking about maybe not even worrying about a safety over the top or anything like that. Just making sure get an extra hat to the ball here.
So we have the officials coming over to adjust the scoreboard clock. 2:31 remaining now in the 4th quarter.
Okay. So 2nd down and 11 will be the down and distance after that tackle by Leone.
Want to give the Little Irish defense a lot of credit here, too. Boy, they look gassed. They have been playing tough, and, I don't want to say they've contained UPrep. UPrep has the lead, but they've played tough. UPrep has faced a challenge here with this Aquinas defense, for sure.
Yep, UPrep put up 36 last week. They put up 24 in the win over Victor. This is 2nd and long. The pitch going to Gene. And Gene cutting it up. Gene lowering his shoulder, and he goes out of bounds to stop the clock. But a lot of yardage on that play. It goes for a gain of 9 to bring up 3rd down and 2. Yeah, if I'm Isaiah Young, I'm just like, hey, go down in bounds this time when you get near the boundary. Christopher Gene. He'll be on the sideline. Those will be Wynn Nope, Gene is out there, and Gene trying to get around the corner. He's got the first down, and more, and makes a cut, and gets it down to the 5-yard line. Christopher Gene, as we're back inside the Ide family of dealerships red zone. And now that would pretty much do it here. 2:16 remaining, and UPrep in control.
That is a backbreaker. And Chris Gene, boy, explosive. Fast, slippery, hard to bring down.
And we have a penalty here. It's a sideline warning against Aquinas.
Yeah.
So the flag goes down. It's not a penalty. Oh, and the official just threw another one. And this is at the Aquinas bench.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, here.
The UPrep faithful going crazy, knowing that right now that Aquinas sideline lost their composure.
So the clock starts back up here. And now UPrep can bleed every second. Up 24-21. The snap, handoff going between the tackles and into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown for UPrep. That is going to be the big man, number 54, Desmary Favor with the touchdown. That is going to be another American Custom Exteriors and Interiors touchdown. The Home Improvement Company that cares.
I want to say Favor maybe paved the way there for Gene. Yeah, Gene had the touchdown there.
Gene had the touchdown.
And then,
I'm sorry.
again, fitting that he caps off that drive with the big man opening up the hole for him.
Yep. So I'm following 54 in his lead block. Gene getting the touchdown. It's only fitting that Gene gets in the end zone.
Yeah, he's had himself a nice game. Hey, look at what we're seeing for the first time tonight.
Yeah, an extra point attempt is Isaiah Figueroa. And that is going to be no good. 30-21, but that is a two-score game with 150 remaining. And take another look here.
Yeah, Gene.
Gene. Okay, I see what happens.
Yeah.
Gene pushes Favor, and Gene just barely breaks the plane.
Yeah.
Well, to the Favor family, I thought your son had scored a touchdown there. Boy.
That popular center keeper play there at the goal line. Now, Favor playing right guard and doing a great job on that offensive line for the U. And, boy, you saw it with that unsportsmanlike penalty. The UPrep faithful, the UPrep sideline all erupting. They recognize how big this game is for their program. And coming into this season, they recognize it. And we heard it from Isaiah Young himself. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. A lot of people thought that the move up to AA was going to be a program killer. It turns out the exact opposite is true at this point.
Oh, I will say, like a lot of us, myself included, wrong. UPrep, you belong. Hold on. I'm going to get a false start here called against the Griffins.
Dead ball, procedure on the offense, 5 yards, re-kick.
Okay, we'll do this over again. 150 remaining here tonight. Going back after, it will be Robinson. So Robinson has a little bit of green in front of him. Now he's in a little bit of trouble, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So Aquinas had a nice drive. Last time their offense was on the field, resulted in a touchdown. Richards, a couple passes along the far side. Last one going for 14 yards in the touchdown.
Going to be key for UPrep's defense here to keep everything in front of them as best as possible. Because if you're Aquinas, you're going to be looking for big plays, and a few of them.
A whistle and a timeout will be called by UPrep. Making sure that don't give up anything big here. I think it's just all you have to look at it. I'm not a fan of the prevent defense danger, but this situation I think actually might kind of call for it here.
Sure.
Yeah, that's, all right, keep everything in front of you and keep that clock moving as Aquinas without any timeouts here.
I think it's worthy of note that UPrep held on to the ball throughout the course of tonight. No turnovers for the Griffins. And although that first turnover for Aquinas didn't prove to be costly, I mean, look, there have been just little lapses throughout the course of tonight that have hurt the Lil Irish. A missed extra point here, a botched snap there.
The penalties.
Penalties
here.
Yeah,
the penalties. You know what? Rather than nitpick Aquinas, I think it's just UPrep is just
is good.
UPrep has beaten the runner-up from the spring year 2020 Victor, a perennial power in Aquinas, and the three-time champ.
And McQuaid.
Yeah, they're the team to beat.
The start of that schedule was daunting. They didn't blink, and they took care of their business. They're off to a 3-0 start if they can close this out tonight.
As now White is in trouble, and White will go down all the way back at the 4-yard line. And Dakari Carter, who's had a fantastic game, getting the sack. And for White, he had no choice but to take that sack. Well, we're going to have a defensive hold, though, called against UPrep. So a break for the Little Irish here is take away the sack, and they'll get some yardage out of this. But the clock is only at 1:35 now.
We have holding on the defense, 10-yard foul, first down.
All right, so the defensive hold, now it'll be 1st and 10 of the 30. First and 10 at the 30. 4 wide receivers as White looking at a blitz. UPrep sending an extra man. White is going to have to step up and take off. Michael White is going to get the first down. Get it across the 40 and up to about the 41. Play good for a Tracy Door Company first down. You get a whole lot more from the Tracy family, but we have got a pile here that's kind of slow to get up, and it's a UPrep player that's actually down on the field. And also down on the field, an Aquinas player. That's going to be White.
Well, we heard before the game started that we might see Ben Newman. I didn't think these were the circumstances that we may see him. White hobbling toward the Aquinas sideline, and we still have a UPrep player down as well. And that's number 44.
Moonshine.
Yeah. Moonshine up and off the sideline on his own power.
Defensive lineman fullback. That's a name.
Isaiah Moonshine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so Newman is in the game.
Yeah, we were told this was going to be the plan all along to rotate the quarterbacks tonight. And maybe it was just kind of the way the game kind of went. That Michael White was feeling a rhythm. But now here's Newman's chance, but kind of dire here. And a penalty against UPrep. They had too many men on the field.
We have a dead ball, illegal substitution on the defense, 5 yards, still first down.
A couple of breaks here for Aquinas. You had the defensive holding, too many men on the field, getting some free yards here and getting a little bit closer with 1:12 left and a 9-point deficit to work out of.
See Kevin Roche down on the sideline. He's got the Friday Night Rivals trophy presented by William Mattar. Ready to hand that out. Long game here tonight as this will be the first pass attempt, and that's a completion. So the sophomore, Ben Newman, getting that over the middle to Jake Smith, number 13, but that's going to be short of the marker. And that's going to keep the clock moving here. Newman out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, looking left, throws left, and we got the whistle, and it is incomplete. Third down.
Yeah, looking in the direction of Trey Walker on that one. Don't know that Walker was necessarily looking for it.
Trey Walker, number 24, is the receiver in the slot to the right. 44 seconds remaining. Newman takes the snap, throws over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. And you can see the pressure there, just getting it away a little too soon before Robinson had made the break. Fourth down. What could be our last play here for the Little Irish tonight? Two receivers to the right, two to the left on 4th and 1. The snap, and here will be the pass, and it goes off the hands of Robinson. And there's a turnover on downs, and UPrep did it. UPrep, welcome to Class AA, as you have now announced your presence to the world as the team to beat, knocking off Victor, McQuaid, and now the Little Irish of Aquinas. How about UPrep?
It's quite the gauntlet to start the season for the defending Class A1 Section 5 champs, now making their mark in AA. And boy, you've really got to be impressed by what you're seeing here out of this program under head coach Isaiah Young. These guys play fast. They run to the football. They get after it on both sides of the ball. Lots of playmakers, plenty of speed. Really impressive squad that Coach Young has put together here at UPrep.
The victory formation.
Coach Young on the sideline, congratulating his players.
And I'm sure there'll just be a quick knee here. Noah Hill. Actually, it's not Noah Hill. Get some different players in there as the handoff will go to the far side. Tavion Bird is your quarterback now to do the honors here. It did stop the clock with 27 seconds remaining. Bird going back to the sideline for the call. And I could hear from up here Isaiah Young saying, stay in bounds. Or some coach down there as the handoff will go. And Leone with the tackle tonight. Also in the tackle for Aquinas was number 56, Bobby Douglas.
We have another flag
on the far side. It's on the Aquinas sideline.
You can see Derek Anticino frustrated with tonight's officiating crew. An unsportsmanlike conduct called on the last UPrep offensive drive. Another flag being thrown in the direction of the Aquinas sideline just now, with 17 seconds left in the game.
You know what I like? I think the game's been decided here, so this is a time where Nope, and they're just going to roll the clock.
Wind
That's
the
it.
clock.
Yep,
That's
wind the clock. That's why. That'll do it here tonight as they do pick up the flag, whatever the case may be, and the teams will shake hands. And congratulations to the Griffins from UPrep. Boy, Class AA is a gauntlet, and UPrep right at the top of it as they get the win here tonight. Downtown, our final score here tonight, 30-21, UPrep over Aquinas. We'll have our post-game show coming up in just a little bit. Kevin Roche will be downstairs. We'll present our trophy. Thanks to William Mattar. It's William Mattar's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Billy Whitaker Ford here on CW Rochester.
Tracy Door Company opens a door to the heart of the home. We're an employee service company and proudly stand by the Tracy name for top quality residential and commercial garage doors. Tracy Door Company installs garage doors to blend seamlessly with your home. We outfit large commercial warehouses to single workspaces and offer professional repair services for your current doors. Call Tracy Door Company today.
For 3 generations, the Tracy Door Company.
The freedom of riding a motorcycle on the open road can be a thrilling adventure. At William Mattar, we know that motorcycle riders can face many dangers while riding and may sustain severe injuries in a crash. The William Mattar Serious Injury Team has been trusted by thousands after a crash. Let our focus and experience help you. After a crash, call William Mattar at 444-4444 or go to williammattar.com.
We are Storm Basement Waterproofing. Our services include foundation wall repair, basement waterproofing, sub pump installation, and sub pump maintenance. We're looking at a whole home solution for people when dealing with moisture problems, basement waterproofing problems that they're having.
When we're done with everything, it's the product that really stands out. Give us a call at 585-622-2717, or better yet, you can even check us out online at stormbasementwaterproofing.com.
Welcome to Independence. You know, people here, they're all running from something.
Is something rattling you?
My husband was killed.
Who killed him?
The new sheriff. You asked me if I was staying here for revenge. Maybe it's justice.
Walker, Independence. New series premieres Thursday, October 6th, only on the CW.
UPrep 3-0 on the season. They were down 13-6 in the second quarter. They didn't blink. They go on an 18-0 run, helping their way. In the end, they get the ceiling touchdown from Christopher Jean. When you see some of these playmakers tonight, I came away very impressed with this team, without a doubt. And for Aquinas on the other side, that's to the near side of that camera angle. Derek Anacino and his team have to go back to work. For the trophy presentation, our man Kevin Roche with the UPrep Griffs.
Guys, here with head coach Isaiah Young and the Griffins, 3-0. Always good to be undefeated, but the teams you have beat, Victor, McQuaid, and Aquinas, what does it say about this program right now?
Same thing as last week. You know, that we're here, we're going to play everybody, and we got a shot to beat everybody.
Are you the team to beat in AA right now?
There's a lot of football left to be played. You know, there's 5 games in the regular season and playoffs. You know, entirely new season. Got to keep working and keep getting better.
Really, all 3 phases of the game, you guys excelled here tonight. You got the blocked punt from your special teams in the second half, your quarterback with 2 touchdown throws in the second half, and that running game really got it rolling. Can this team be stopped offensively, or can they keep improving like they have been?
Yeah, that's the question, right? That's what, you know, why we play the game and practice every week. You know, so we're just going to keep working and keep getting better and see what happens at the end.
Chance to prove yourself out of the section next week. You go to Section 3, Liverpool. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Very excited. I've been an advocate of playing out-of-section games for a long time, even out-of-state games. You know, I think it's good for New York State. I think it's good for our section. I know they got a very good program there. I think they were in the sectional semifinals last year, so it's going to be another good game for us, so I'm excited.
Well, best of luck to you at Liverpool next week. Congratulations on the victory tonight. The William Mattar Friday Night Rivals Week 3 victors. Congratulations, UPrep.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Yes. You know what? Celebrate that.
That's what it's all about, Gino.
Yeah, wins are hard to come by. Just enjoy every moment of it as next week, Avon Cal Mum, as we're going to be going, as they call the Glow region, down to Genesee. We want to thank everyone for you watching tonight, and to our wonderful sponsor partners, including the law offices of William Attar, Billy Whitaker Ford, Triple O Heating, Cooling, Electrical and Plumbing, Storm Basement Waterproofing. And we also like to thank Lakeside Roofing, Tracy Door Company, Four Winds Chimney, Bill Gray's, the Ide Family of Dealerships, American Custom Exteriors and Interiors, Illuminating Expressions, Connors and Ferris, and Iron Chiropractic. And we want to thank, of course, everybody from Aquinas and UPrep for helping put this on tonight. Mike Danger, your final thoughts?
I mean, just really impressed by this UPrep program, what they've done so far this young Section 5 season to go 3-0, beating some real powerhouse programs in Section 5, some traditional powerhouses. And for Aquinas, look, there's a lot of football left to be played, and if you're head coach Derek Anacino, you have to stay as positive as you can here moving forward for the rest of the season.
For the whole team here, for our sideline reporter Kevin Roche, for our director Eric Harpy, and for our team leader Steve Sinusol, Mike Danger, my name is Gene Battaglia. Once again, UPrep 3-0 on the season. They get the win tonight over Aquinas here, 30-21. This has been William Attar's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Billy Whitaker Ford on CW Rochester.